Uh, Hell yeah, I get right back as the market opens. All right, so the only thing we have marked is the lows, supply, and previous day open and previous day close. I didn't mark anything else. And everything else is already here. So in short, today we're going to be most likely looking for lower highs to either reject this and break down under previous day close to give us a lot better of really just a better confirmation of like, okay, this is probably coming back. But opposite thinking too, we end up getting a good hold over this. We have to assume that bulls are trying to attempt to at least test that, let alone break it or retest over it or anything. We can't see that far ahead. But they do look like they want to at least do that. So we'll see what we get today. We also have IWM charted up. We're going to be looking over 200.70s, 200.50s. It's kind of like a 20-cent range. We're looking over this. This is kind of their big pivot point of their chart. This is where big moves can hold over. This is where big moves can reject from. So this is where we're going to be looking on IWM, small caps. Very important chart. We charted triple Qs yesterday. Looks like we need to adjust this chart a little bit. That's previous day high, and that's all we need. So 481 and 482 looks like some pretty important levels for today on triple Q, which is tech. Apple's already kicking ass. They're trying to break previous day high. Watch for a hold over. Watch for a push over previous day high. And Microsoft, they're not over it, but they're pushing towards it. Amazon's already well above their previous day high. Nvidia experiencing another weird open. Lower open, but they're working up right now. Google's pushing higher, nice. Bank, Berkshire Hathaway still weak. Tesla discretionary, lower open, indecisive right now. Meta kicking ass, they're moving higher right now. Healthcare sideways. Energy looks like they're getting a gap up today. PayPal dropping again. Netflix trying to push over. Those are previous day highs. They're just under it. So you might see them try to catch up to Meta because they are in the same sector. But remember, they're also in the same sector as Google, and they were also pushing higher. So Netflix might be a laggard in their sector. Oh, as I say that, they're pushing their highs right now. It's kind of fun to see that. You can go to like a bunch of other sector, or the same sector weights. 9 out of 10 of them could be doing the same thing, and the 10th one's not doing anything. Let's see if we see anything else. Coin got a gap up. Ulta got a gap up, finally. I'm pretty bullish on this one. I really like the hold of this. We have a low with an inside bar. We have a low as a second low, as a higher low, as a double bottom, whatever you want to call it. Second move up. And we don't have a move over the impulse buying move yet, which is at 263. But I like that we've filled most of that gap and are just kind of sitting here. So I think McDonald's is in a great spot to try to consolidate to the right and work back up over the next month. But we'll see. I think that's a good one to start watching for anybody who might be swing trading and is looking for something to look at more. I think McDonald's is a great one right now. And with us looking through most of the weights, and most of them were kind of pushing up higher or at least getting to their previous day high, we're kind of seeing the same thing here on SPY. We're just seeing a good push above previous day close right now. Because it definitely does feel like a little more buying is happening than selling, but it's nothing crazy yet. So let's zoom this in a little bit and we'll do it to where we can see everything. But good morning, everybody. Make sure to share any charts you want. I can show you guys here on Discord. A lot of people in here, so make sure to post in here if you want to. These are actually the templates I was talking about was Garden Trader. So I would check these out if you guys are also wanting to kind of add your charts in there and have other people read them or something. Don't just post them in TradeFloor. There is a actual channel for it. But yeah, good morning, everybody. Those are the game plans and updates as of right now. Of course, all of that will change as things happen, as things progress. Try to update them ASAP. But yeah, good morning, everybody. And that is the first 5 minutes of the day. So we didn't do a stream Monday. We had a pretty normal stream Tuesday. A little longer stream yesterday because we didn't just do updates. We also did a little bit of charting afterwards, and really just a lot of ranting and kind of talking to each other about a couple different things. And then today we're just gonna do another normal stream, just go over some updates and usual stuff like we always do. But tomorrow, if you guys have lifetime access in the Discord, and if you don't, you can look and see what you have to do to get it. But there is a huge private event happening tomorrow. I'm just going to read through pretty much the entire handbook that Leland, I hate saying we because Leland did it, but Leland released this huge handbook, and it's super helpful, where it goes over our favorite candlestick patterns, but it doesn't just go over them. It goes over exactly how we trade them, how we use the levels that we talk about daily in here on them. Your previous day highs, all your, fancy whatever levels. But that handbook is very in-depth, and it breaks every candlestick pattern that we like down to the core. So I'll be going over that with the Lifetime group tomorrow in a private stream. Kind of excited about that too, because I was kind of looking over it last night just to kind of remind myself what I'm about to get myself into, and I was like, damn, this thing is like it's like 33 pages, but it's not like you're reading 33 pages. Like, there's a lot more than that going on. So I'm kind of excited to go through that with everybody. It's a new high of day over the previous day high, by the way, for a quick second there on SPY, 546.31. SPX also pushing a new high. IWM looks like they're still struggling, but we haven't really pushed under previous day close yet either. So, I mean, yeah, they pushed away from previous day highs, but it's really all they've done. Haven't really broken anything. But very big reaction to note, though, from those highs. And then Triple Q, they are still doing great. So tech's still really strong this morning. And we saw that when we clicked on Apple and Microsoft pretty early on. Now we'll see. Does Microsoft make it past 455.80? That's the next level on their chart. What's the next area on Apple? This area right here. Do they surpass this over time today? So these will be big resistances we're going to be watching on. And it looks like we need to rechart Amazon. It looks like I started it and then instantly gave up. Let's fix that. So close, high, open, low. Actually, I guess that's it. That's all we have to mark. It already hit the main fib extension level yesterday. Damn. Alright, so yeah, 197 is kind of the next important area on Amazon. Nvidia working themselves back up very heavily. They're already back up the previous day close just about. AMD is flying. Google's doing well, still pushing in new highs. SMCI still pushing in new highs. Poor Tesla. She did all that work yesterday and nobody wanted to help her. Now everybody's pumping and Tesla's like, I'm taking a chill pill today. Meta's still hitting a new high. It's kind of weird too, because like oil's actually not falling right now. Nice. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of things kind of moving up higher together right now. See if this continues. We are also approaching kind of an area where I don't know, it just feels like the dollar is at a spot where it should be putting in another lower high if it isn't going to break out here. I'm not saying you should draw that, but it just, you already do kind of have that lower high area here, and it's kind of showing up in here again. So maybe this is just a natural reaction of the equity and commodity market. Or not commodity, sorry, what the hell am I saying? But I don't know, that just makes me wonder if maybe this is just perfect timing. Maybe this is going to be just a lower high reaction that tries to, you know, battle 105.40s, and then that's where we see our better reaction. So maybe we should just focus on this. Because normally, and now remember this, guys, they aren't perfect opposites. I hate when people say the equity market is a perfect opposite of the dollar. No, it is not. It is not perfectly opposite at all. But they do have pressures on each other. A lot of the time when people are shorting this, a lot of the time the equity market is going up. I say a lot of the time, not every time. And that's how you should think about it too, a lot of the time. Because a lot of people traditionally teach people that this happens like to the cent. Every time the dollar's going up, SPY's falling. That is not the case. But we like to think about it as important areas. So if we see this breaking down an important area, most likely SPY is pushing up higher to some extent on their chart. So it's just kind of nice to see, okay, where are they at? So if they are hitting a lower high, and they are going to go test a support that's lower under and possibly break it, that might actually be positive pressure for the equity market, which would be SPY, which would be all of your individual weights here, like Tesla, Meta, Apple, you know, all that stuff you guys like. That would most likely get some good, you know, bullish pressure. I'm not going to say, yeah, it's going to skyrocket. But I don't know, the dollar's lining up in a spot where it could be helping out the market a little bit. Short term, again, I don't like to think of that chart as something that's like long standing. You know, if the dollar's going up 4 days, that doesn't mean SPY went down 4 days. It's not always the case. But we're back into that supply finally. I kind of like seeing that this is already happening early on, because this at least gives bulls a chance very early in the morning to maybe break it. But this is just basically going from the Monday high all the way down to the basically the nearest emerging candle level, which is 546.39. So we're just kind of going from here to here and just highlighting it, and that's it. But usually you go from here to about the open of that candle, because that's the real high of day supply, and it hasn't been surpassed. But I just thought I'd just include the level. But right now we're perfectly inside of that in the first 15 minutes of the day. First 12 minutes of the day. But good morning, everybody. Be sure to share in the trade floor, or if you're in the YouTube stream, share in the YouTube chat. What are you watching? What are you looking at? If you have any updates you want to share with the group, go ahead and share. I try to read out as many of the comments as I possibly can. But yes, good morning. Good morning. Oh, I need to check something. Oh. Oh my. I wish I had a face cam on right now. Y'all, I wish y'all could see how far my jaw is on the ground right now. I'm actually lost for words. Holy, that actually made me gasp a little bit. If you have access to lifetime chat, please check Swing Trading TA. Oh my god. We can hear it. I mean, I'm just impressed. Sorry. If you go to the CRM chart on the daily, this is something Noxta had literally just posted yesterday. Let me look. I'll even timestamp because I actually am curious too. Yeah, literally yesterday. I remember because I was reading this. He said he tags Lifetime Noxta and he goes, "I'd like to direct your attention to CRM double inside bar so far and possibility for squeezing up off of the 9 EMA. Very good risk reward here, but remember we have jobless claims tomorrow morning." So I mean, he's just giving out good. This is how he posts. He just likes to post good, clean TA for, okay, look, this is either bullish or this is bearish, blah blah blah, right? And it's not really alerts or signals. It's just kind of like him going through the process. And this kind of ties into, again, the swing trading videos I was telling y'all about. Everything he just said is in the swing trading videos from 3 years ago plus. And then for him to post that, and then this morning, CRM having just a good move. I'm not going to be like this is a parabolic move, but he's already up 229.5%, and technically he sold early. The contract is now over 500%. Not saying, we should all realistically aim for 500%. I think he's still genius for taking profits and at least taking part, of what he's seen. Because you're not ever going to catch the entire move. That's something you have to realistically just come to terms with. You're never going to catch the whole move. And if you do, you could kind of see it as, maybe as like one of those, timing things. Like maybe every now and then you are going to catch the whole move because you're just, you've been going over this stuff so much. So maybe in some cases you will. But that's not something you should aim for. But that just had my jaw on the ground because, I mean, it's just like it's so basic what he did, but that's what we do in here. It's not like we go over super complex stuff. Like, let me turn on what he's got on and I'll show you. And again, I'm not really excited about like, oh, he got like 1,000,000,000%. I mean, that is kind of cool, but it's just cool to see the results of just something we work on in here. So the reason he liked it a lot is we have a double inside bar. So this day and this day are basically inside of that day. I say basically because, I mean, the lows are basically the same. But they're pretty much inside of that candle. Basically, he's just saying there is a huge squeeze happening. Like, something is about to happen. And he was weighing his odds on it going up just because it's holding this. Just because it's holding this white line. It's our trigger line. The guy that I took it from, everybody on the internet takes it from each other, but the person I took it from, rest in peace, Stephen Bigelow, taught that this is the trigger line. So basically, you need to look for bullish pressure, and then you need to see bullish pressure close above this area, and essentially, in short, keeping it dumb and simple, you're bullish to this level, to this EMA. From here, you want to see more bullish pressure close over. Then you're bullish to the next EMA, and vice versa. Bearish plays happen to the downside, that's happening down. And you'll see this in the swing trade playlist again. Please check that out on your own. There are live trades recorded for this whole thing. But it's pretty cool because you see kind of the same thing down here. You see inside bars right here before it pops, but you see like kind of just a little bit of squeezing action where the candles are getting smaller. They're not breaking their lows and moving down as much. It's just kind of holding in an area. It's not really going anywhere. It's not making new highs, but it's not making new lows either. And then they get the gap up, the big move up. And it's just cool because if you go from the low of this to the high of this, and just kind of go off of like the fact that it is above the bullish part of its fib just from its recent bounce, then you could just be bullish above that. And maybe you're like, all right, I'll look for some more bullish action. If I get whatever the next thing is, I'm taking it as a higher low. And that's what he did. He took his risk on this, and it ended up paying because he got a gap up and a move up in the first 30 minutes of the day, and he has weeklies. So he's got every parameter for making a really, really big percentage. But that was the reasoning behind his trade. It's just super clean. I don't know. I think that's why my jaw was dropped. It wasn't like, oh my god, he made 500% or whatever. No, it's just the fact that it was just so simple. It's not like he went in there and was like, guys, I think CRM's about to pump because of this or this or this or that. Like, no, he just went in there and was like, guys, double inside bar. It's holding the 9 EMA. Bam. Super simple. You should just be able to hear that once and instantly be like, oh wow, that's really strong. And you'll notice that about a couple of the signals in my chat. The more in tune someone is, the more, you know, juicy a signal sounds to them. Not in terms of like, oh my god, Bueller's buying puts. No, like when someone says in chat, guys, double inside bar, this is trying to do this is trying to do that. You know, that should stick out to you. And if it doesn't, then you just need to review more. Because there's a lot of just powerful things that are posted in chat, just off the rip, from just any other member. So find the power in your signals and then stick to those. You know, you really shouldn't be taking 50 different types of entries. If you are, then you're kind of pulling yourself apart. You need to just stick to a couple types of entries. Yes, the 40% exists. Does that mean you should be taking 40% entries every day? No. The 80% exists, but there's 3 types of retests. Should you really be taking all 3 types? No. Try to focus on just a couple. But good credit to Noxta, really cool post. I was replying to Noxta and Trade 4, but they here on Spy, all we did was just hold that supply we talked about, and we didn't break out above it. And now it looks like we are going to be testing the. Actually, I need to mark the today's open. So this is today's open. This is previous day close. Mark both, and just give yourself a little gray area here, just so you see it a little easier. Now, if we break the open, and this is kind of that other scenario I was talking about. If we break the open, don't just look for a break of open. Look for any of those 3 types of retests that you've recently learned about. Please find one of those under this area. If that even happens, they could end up holding this, and next thing you know, we're making new highs. But just in case, look for one of those retest types under that 5-minute area. What is IWM doing? Okay, so they were working up at the same time. They're now pulling back down. We'll see if they hold this area or not. That would be very bullish for them, actually. And Tech was working very hard to go up, but now they're back under their 482. They're trying to work back under their previous day. What's SPX? Okay, same as SPY. AMD, good rejection. Nvidia, nothing crazy. And what is Apple doing and Microsoft doing? So Apple is actually trying to fill their gap, and Microsoft smacked 455.80, but not really pulling away aggressively. They're just pulling away. Okay, so we'll see if this even happens or not. I don't know. It just looks like things hit resistance, or a bunch of the weights that were moving up this morning have finally reached, you know, something to actually slow down against for the first time. So maybe this is just a reaction for all we know. But the reaction until I see a break and a retest away from this, then I know, okay, it's bearish. But anything before that, you just have to assume it's a reaction. Oh, JJ, you gave me a heart attack for a second. I just read that. I was like, damn. Did I just say all that and nobody heard me? That would have been depressing. My bad, Dr. J. I just saw what you said, too. I wasn't trying to, like, hype it up like that. It's crazy seeing simple stuff like that work out, because, like, I'm not joking. Some of my swing trading videos are, like, super, super, super old, but the concepts are all very strong still. And I try to tell people in lifetime, you know, like, stop focusing on 50 different things. Like, there are so many people who post in that area, and they just don't see it. Don't be that person that's always hyping up the other person. Like, if I had to give any of you advice about, like, something deep in the chat, I would say it's that. Don't be the person who's always on the other end of hyping other people up. You know, you need to also be a part of that journey. You're also looking at the same stuff. You're looking at the same strats. You're looking at all this stuff, you know. You shouldn't always be the person who's always congratulating everybody. You should also be someone who's in the mix. You should also be part of that, like, wow, look how good we did on this. But I would highly recommend checking out this video first. Like I said, it's over 3 years ago. A lot of cool videos. We also have another channel in case you get bored and you run out of videos here. Let me know if you do. But I highly recommend checking that out if you're interested in looking at any of the things that I was just breaking down about that swing trade or any of the swing trades that do happen. Killed it long and now on puts. Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Mikey. Ryan said he's watching JPM. You know, I never see anybody say they're watching JPM. What about the JPM chart are you liking, Ryan? Regardless of the time frame. I don't care what time frame you're looking at. Whatever you're looking at is fine with me. Actually, I am going to leave that. Good morning, Eric. Everybody say good morning to Eric. Eric Beard. XLY trying to stay strong after yesterday's move. 30-minute hammer. Look at that update. I knew that was UE. Oh, you said 30. So, yeah. 30-minute hammer. Yeah, and this ends very soon. So, very good call out. And good job actually waiting until the right amount of time to actually mention this. Not just saying, you know, in the first 2 minutes, guys, I think the 30 minutes is going to be a hammer. It's like, hold up. It has 28 minutes to trade. Good job. Which it's not like a pet peeve of mine, but it's just kind of like tedious, you know, if you're going to be right about the timing of a certain time frame, call it out when it actually has, you know, a couple minutes left. Not when there's 20 minutes left. Ryan said, was watching daily time frame, was looking like it wanted to break from a downtrend on the daily. Haven't seen any pullbacks in the smaller time frame. Yeah, so before my little break, this was definitely happening. But I do remember this strong recovery. And I think instantly I need to go back and mark this, because this is pretty interesting how they kind of have this, like, I don't know, if you delete the whole chart and you just look at just this recovery, you'll see that they actually gap down to this point right here, right? So this is where they gap down from here. They drop to here, cool, whatever. They jump up here, cool, whatever. Almost fill the gap. But they perfectly hold where the gap is, and then the meat of the bone of it holds where the meat, you know, kind of pushed up. But like no candle ever closed lower than that. And then they pump from here, right? The other cool thing is that where they came back down again, they ended up holding this area. So I would say this is a pretty important pivot area just in general, even if you're not paying attention to this 195.40. But I actually kind of like this. I think it's actually a little bit more bullish than bearish. It just feels kind of off because it is definitely experiencing lower highs, like you said. I don't know. I'm in the same boat with you. I like the bullish pressure behind this because of the longer term context, not just, oh, it's up against its lower highs. Yeah, but it's holding bullish retest once, twice. This could be seen as the higher low of that second higher low. You know, it's just, I don't know. This seems like it's about to explode as well. I think this is a good watch. Good job. Just off of the context of the candles and everything, I think that's a really good position chart. But like you said, it is definitely still dealing with that lower high area. Which, let's see, did they actually break that yet? If you go from high to high on the daily, they actually have finally started pushing it a little. It looks like this right here, this is the old all-time high supply. If you go from the high to the open of the green candle, they actually just pushed above it, never retested it, retested away actually. Tried to put in a single candle retest, failed again. So they've never actually held a retest above 201. So retest above 201, I would mark that down somewhere and remember that, because that looks like that's a really big trigger point for this chart to try and go up more, or to give you a decision on, yes, this is probably coming back down again. So 201, pretty important. And again, that's just us going through the chart, reading out what's happening in front of us. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, but we can read the context of the chart to give us better probabilities of the future. We don't know what's going to happen. We can have better context. It's like murder mystery movies and shows you guys watch, if you watch any of that. You know, you probably don't know who did it. You probably don't even know if they did it. But you have a pretty good idea as soon as you start watching it, who it might be, or, you know, who's, you know, a potential. It's the same thing with price action. You're just getting evidence way beforehand, and you're kind of just not really pointing fingers, but you're kind of just looking in a certain direction because of what you were looking at. It just helps you make better decisions. Thank you, E. Thank you, Ryan. Good post, guys. Good morning, BB traders. Great to have you back, B. Hauling a massive load on the I-10, but still tuned in. Hope all is well with everyone in the community, and you guys are having a great trading week. Dude, we love you, David. Love you, David Q. And I hope you are safe on your big haul, man. Seriously. Hopefully it's not too long of a trip. But good to have you. And good morning, Jack. He said, good morning, friends. Good rejection of 547s, 546.40 so far. Just a pullback from it. This might be a potential lower high. Of course, we have another couple minutes on this 5 minutes, so it's too early to say. But I do think it's a little interesting that we are rejecting a second time now, if this holds like this. He said Microsoft and Apple, oof. Yeah, Microsoft did pretty good, and Apple's trying their best to come back. So we'll see if this isn't over. Plus, tech's still holding a pretty good area of the chart. I don't think it's fair to turn bearish yet. Small caps are also kicking ass, by the way. They're pushing new highs. They did end up holding the retest over this area. Remember, we said basically you should be bullish if we get above this, bearish if we're rejecting it. Early on this morning, we rejected it. 2 candles later, we're above it. 2 more candles later, we're showing a wick holding it. So, pretty interesting to see that we are bullish now above this, but we need to see a better push above 201.20s to get that to that next level at least. Then SPY, they're kind of in the same seat, except they've never really gotten that extra high yet. You know, they kind of pushed above previous day a little bit, but we never made it past the Monday. Basically, this week's highs we have not surpassed. Monday. But that's the resistance we're dealing with. We're also holding above previous day close and current day open. So this is what we're kind of stuck inside of right now. But at least we see the information is very clear. Also kind of keeping that 30-minute in mind that E brought up. I thought that was an interesting point as well. I know he didn't say it about every single chart, but if you go to the 30-minute, it is kind of nice to look at, because now you have some actual evidence of like, okay, we do have a pretty strong green candle holding us, but can we get that extra high or not? Pretty indecisive first 30-minute candle on Apple. Pretty big aggressive buyer candle on Microsoft. First candle on Amazon was a little indecisive in my opinion, even though it was green. You could just see that something is indecisive. Again, this again ties into some of the swing trading videos when we talk about candlestick patterns. But a small body and long wicks. It doesn't have to be the craziest looking doji, but even just seeing a smaller body candle with just, you know, legs on each side, that can even be seen as indecisive. Not just the fact if it's a doji. Oh, that's Discord I was hearing. I forgot I have this sound on when you guys joined the voice chat. I was like, what am I hearing? I was hearing a ghost. Good stuff, Mel. I'm just seeing some of your posted trades that you're reviewing already. Good job, man. What's up, Riak? I can hear the audio of that meme in my head. I can hear that meme. It's like that kid in that one store where he like walks into that store. It's like a massage parlor or something. He's like, "This is America." He said the Tesla 90% entry playing out nicely, and then we got Jack posting a couple charts in here as well. Good job, guys. And yeah, that did pay out nicely. Jesus. And it's pretty impressive, but yesterday, the couple times we brought Tesla up, we went to the daily to show people what even are these levels. And it was just kind of highlighting the range that we talked about in a weekly watch list I'd posted about 2 weeks ago now. And they closed above it yesterday with that massive day they had, opening above it, holding. So interesting to see, is this going to be what they needed to push beyond 200? You know, is this what they needed to go higher? Which we already talked about potential targets on this just based on math. The range is like $14. Split that in half, that gives you 7. Put 7 on each side. Oh wait, no, it's like 28. It was 14 was each side. So you had $14 to the other side. That gives you 208. 12, 13, yeah, 208. So we were saying 207.50, 208. If it does end up pushing beyond 200, that's probably where it's at least going, is 207.50 to 208. Sorry, I was having a lot of brain farting there at the same time. Good call out whoever said Netflix earlier. That was a massive move, and they're still holding and trying to just kind of grind up. It's an ugly move, but that's very powerful. Somebody brought Netflix up earlier. Meta trying to hold their bullish retest. IWM still having trouble with 201.20 even after holding above previous day high. And Tech still holding a bullish retest above 481, but also kind of struggling with their next level, that 482 level. And I know it's only Thursday, but since I won't be here tomorrow in the stream because we'll be doing that private lifetime stream, I wanted to ask, is anybody doing anything cool this weekend? Or are you guys just laying low, saving money? Are you guys going out and doing something? Does anybody have any game plan for maybe reviewing any charts this weekend? I know some of you just sit here and work your ass off even when the market's closed. Oh, and shout out to a few of you in here. I saw a couple of you join in here. I was telling you guys about Rollout. He comes into the voice chatting streams, like kind of some simulated trading that he does just to kind of, I don't know, keep himself warm and kind of going through a lot of reps. I think it's really cool. I gave him access to streaming here whenever he wants. And he did it again yesterday. I saw a couple of you join in here, so shout out to whoever that was in here with him. Pool with kids, laying low. Damn, the pool does sound nice this weekend. It is that time of year where it's just hot as hell. But that sounds pretty chill though. I like that, nice and simple. I'm gonna do this. We don't need to see that bottom zone yet. Oh, there's also one post that I wanted to go over from yesterday. Did you guys see Leland's post by any chance? He was covering yesterday's price action, and before I had gotten off stream, we were basically covering what were the best trades that could have been taken. We went over just basically one area that we saw during my stream that had occurred, and of course, right after the stream ended, there was about another hour and a half of price action that went by. And after that, there was a really good example of his favorite kind of trade. And of course, it pops up, after lunchtime. But again, that kind of played into what I said, though, the other day. I said, since the first 2/3 of the day really only had minimal opportunity, you might end up getting that end of day move, and you end up getting a really nice rejection of just really good basic levels. Your previous day close, your previous day open, basic stuff like that. Nothing fancy. And let me find his post and I'll just show it. But it was a really, really cool post, and the people in Discord who are listening, I'll relink the post so you can just click straight to it. But this was definitely the coolest post I saw yesterday. Of course, it was from Leland. Don't tell him I said that. Wait, where did he post that? Am I tripping? Yeah, because right here I saw Don Duke made fun of Rivian. Y'all are all roasting Rivian in my chat lately. But fair enough. Yo, am I tripping? Where did he post that? Oh, it was in results and review. Why would I look anywhere else? Okay, so yeah, people on Discord, if you go to the result and review channel at 12:26 p.m. my time, Central Standard Time, you can see Leland's post. People on YouTube stream can see this, no problem. It won't show on the Discord stream. But basically, again, just showing basic levels. Here's the, range from that one gap that they had, the previous day close. Here's the attempt to push that new high, and they just kind of built structure. What do I mean by build structure? Just kind of building multiple lows on the same level. You could see one here, see one here, see one here. They're just holding that same level right here at 54.70, that previous day close. And what's cool about it is they do everything we look for in a retest trade. They didn't just break it. They came back up and actually gave you a better test of the actual area you were looking at from where they broke. Again, that structure area. So it's not just a support. It's now a failed support. And now they're basically, this is like a confirmation. Is this a support or is this a resistance at this 54.70 level? Because they have to come up to it again and say, you know what? If we close over it and we hold the retest over, this is still bullish. This is still a chance of breaking out to the upside. But they didn't. They ended up giving a good rejection, and it almost looks like a little 3-bar play to the downside after rejecting it. So very, very interesting. And of course, it was right at the end of the day, but just kind of cool to see. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. You had plenty of time on that. Never mind. I forgot he's in a different time zone. But very, very cool. And then right after, too, you could see right after Mel actually did take that trade. And you could see he was also looking at that. Damn, y'all posted within 10 minutes of each other. That's pretty funny. But I love seeing that, too, because Leland's always preaching just simple TA. He's not ever preaching anything that's super complex. And if you guys have ever read through his posts or his reviews or any of the stuff that he's released in chat, like the handbook guide, you would see that, too. Definitely interesting though. That one sat rent-free in my head yesterday, I won't lie. Pretty cool though. We got an inside bar, potential higher low after we saw that little rejection holding, and now we have a new high. So we are confirming bulls are still here, not just with this retest with the inside bar holding a support, but now also with a new high being made. So very good looks for the bulls. Looks like Tech showed up to fight some more. Do we have IWM in the fight as well? We do. Nice. Okay, so small caps, Tech, and the overall market are moving up right now. That's a good sign. They're working together. So we might have a strong move coming now. Meta still moving higher. Nice. Ooh, Netflix did too. Oh, I gotta readjust. Oh wait, that's John Deere. I thought I was looking at something different. Coin, wow. Not just going and gapping up, but rallying after the gap up. That's a very big day for them already. It's only been 45 minutes so far since the open. Oh my god. You know what? I'm not even gonna look. I don't even want to know if Nox is still looking at this or not. Nobody else better tag him on that. I'm sure he's staring at it. But the fact that CRM went up more is crazy. Very, very cool post by him. And they are perfectly rejecting that 547. And it's 546.95 if you want to be anal about it. But perfectly pushing 1 cent above, rejecting, and now we're just kind of chilling here still. But it is still a very big show of hands by the bulls to at least have made a new high after holding the inside bar retest here. Excuse me. But yeah. So definitely bullish, but we're a little cautious just because of that one level, 547. Because again, these are kind of the Monday highs that we couldn't surpass, and we didn't even reach them yesterday or Tuesday. Damn, it's already Thursday. This week went by fast. Oh, nice job, Jack. That new Microsoft high was a new all-time high. Cool. He said, "Fear is for losers. Taking a loss is for winners." No, I like your play. I think it's risky because we're definitely a lot more bullish here. But I think as long as you respect that 547, like I explained, I think you're fine. Just like I said, respect 547. Don't ignore it. That was pretty funny. Just moving to the 1 minute just so we can see it a little bit more live. You might get a really good bearish retest inside of the range here. But if not, they end up pushing back over 546.40 and pushing back towards the high. It's probably not as fun to sit in that kind of trade. But a pretty cool retest could happen from here. They've already given you the breakdown. One second. Alright, I'm sorry I'm here again. And they have held Another bearish rejection under 546.40. Looks like you have a break and a little bit of an evening star kind of look there. So, pretty cool idea for short-term shorts, but keep your stop loss tight. Anytime that it crosses over this, you're probably going to get a very quick bullish move to the upside because, again, we are bullish. We're above today's open. We're above previous day close. And from both of those levels, we have multiple higher lows. So it's very unfair to say that a bullish candle can't appear here. But if you have any ideas of taking shorts here, I do like that idea as long as you respect the top of that 1 minute candle there at about 546.50. But the overall move on the 5 minute is trying to just basically hold under as long as they're under 547. But of course, if you're taking a scalp, that would obliterate your position, so you don't want to keep 547 as your stop loss for your whole move. That would be crazy. So, I know a couple of you are probably looking at it like that. But just keep in mind, remember, we are still holding above today's open. Remember, if you want to keep a good... But basically, my stupid task list is basically be bullish above today's open. Be bearish under today's open. You know, if you can just follow just that rule, you'll find yourself on the right side of the trade a lot more of the time. But if you ever find these in-between trades, take them. You know, there's no problem with that. You know, it's okay to go against the system here and there if you have a good area you're looking at. See, you'd be wrong right now if it was crossing this. So, but like I said, it's just good to talk this stuff out. Like, if you ever are like, damn, do I take this put? Should I take this call? Should I just sit cash because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm sitting here questioning everything I'm doing? Look back. Go back to your today's open and read from there. Read from your today's open like it's page 1 of a book you're reading. Like it's context, like I was saying earlier, like I was saying all week. You know, use your context. What do you have here? Oh, we opened here? Cool. What happened from there? We held it. Okay, what happened from there? We had another higher low, but we're still kind of dealing with it. Okay, well, what happened from there? You know, just kind of read left to right, just like you would with a book. It's just kind of helpful. Plus, let's say you did take puts right here, and you're like, oh, I'm wrong now. What if it ends up holding this and then moves over that? Then it's like, okay, well, you just confirmed to yourself that it is trying to move higher. The fact it was able to do that. Also, pretty cool, right after we just said if it does pop this, it'll probably be a quick move. Because, again, they're invalidating a lot of people jumping into puts. We're not the only people looking at this. There are probably other people this week looking at the weekly high. Because as of this week, this is the high that we're dealing with right now. So we're kind of stuck under that, but we have higher lows in advance there. So it looks ugly, I won't lie. But pretty nice move up so far. Morning, busy day, just popping in to drop my like. Have a good one, peeps. Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate you, man. I hope you have a good day as well. Just typing in chat, SPY. SPY still struggling with this week's highs. Nothing new to mention on that one. Good job, Don, dude. Very, very nice gain from you, man. I saw you average down the other day. I think You said, yeah, I bought 8 more cons yesterday at 0.30 to average. Very, very cool. I love that timing for you. Wow. Microsoft's doing really well. Yeah, they're pushing that next level. Okay, cool. Apple's still a little on the weak side, though. They are still above previous day close. Maybe they're just filling the gap, but that is definitely hurting tech because Microsoft was trying to move up right there. You can see it happening on tech too. They're actually holding or trying to break 282. 482, not 282. What the hell am I saying? 200.50. I'd keep this on watch if you're watching small caps. If that ends up cracking, that will cause more caution on this chart. But as long as it's holding that, it should be fine. It looks like we are getting that rejection we were looking for, just a little later than we expected. Looks like it really does weigh on does tech hold or not. At least with where I'm sitting. Oh, discretionary slowed down too. That'd be your Tesla, Amazon, Nike, McDonald's, Home Depot sector. And how many of you are pretty good with your weights? Would you guys say you know a lot of your more important sectors and a lot of the weights that belong to those sectors, or would you say you're still working on that? Because I always ask you guys about candlestick patterns and do you know your types of entries, your types of retests, but do you know your sectors? Do you know at least some of the notable weights of those sectors? And if not, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you have Schwab or Thinkorswim or whatever you want to call this now, you can actually go to SPY, you can click Analyze, you can click Fundamental, and you can actually see of each sector what is the top weight. Which it's funny too because from where we were sitting, you know, for the longest time, it's always just been Apple. It's been Apple, and then Microsoft was second. And it's funny because nowadays you actually have Microsoft, then Nvidia, now Apple. Seeing them in third is pretty crazy. But you could do this with any sector though. You can go to healthcare, you can go to banks, you can go to discretionary, you can go to comms, and just check out what are the top weights of the sector. For some reason you're like, damn, communication services is flying and all of these are going up, but this one isn't, you know, then it's a laggard. Go watch it. But also just for information purposes, just kind of cool to know what's what. Who's in what sector. And how much of that sector they represent. Because you'll see too, if you go back, if you just were to use just tech, you can already see that's 32% of the market. That's crazy, right? So us watching the top couple sectors, we're watching 50 to, 60, 70% of the market just between a couple charts. So every time we're flipping through these, it's not like we're just looking for price action. By going through this, we're going over like 60 something percent of the market. It's probably like, let's actually just go count instead of just guessing. So by checking the top 5 that I like to look at, let's see what we're actually looking at. So we got 32, 43, 54. Oh yeah, I was way off. 63, 72. So yeah, like 72, and if you add that, it's probably like 73, 74%, which is a pretty large portion of SPY. So we're looking at like 3/4 of SPY just by seeing these couple charts, just by going through these and kind of in our head tracking, all right, are we going up more or down more? Just kind of knowing that should give you a lot better probability on some of your plays that you're going to be looking at on these charts. So if you're looking at bullish plays and all of these are doing well, you're on the right side of the market, at least in that exact moment. So you can also use this to kind of back test yourself. Were you in the market at the right time when things were actually trying to go up, or trying to, you know, whatever direction you're trying to go? But very, very cool to see that. They are definitely still bouncing everywhere around here still. Very indecisive in this area for sure. Are we going to remove this just to not confuse ourselves anymore? Looks like that little idea failed. And they are going to try and hold on to these higher lows still. So maybe we'll just leave it on the 1 minute for now. But how is everybody doing? It's been about an hour since the market was open, an hour and 5 minutes. Hopefully everyone's still doing fine. Whatever your definition of fine is. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to pop in and like the stream and watch from the sidelines. I missed the group. Hope to be back a little bit next week. I hope you are back as well, John G. I'll be here. Ryan, you said you're still working. Oh, never mind. You're talking about... Oh, on the sectors. Yeah, okay. I won't lie, it took me a bit, but I think as soon as I gave myself this like realistic chance of just only looking at the top 5 or top 6 sectors, and then trying to just remember just a couple companies from each one. Like when I think of tech, you should almost always think of Apple, Microsoft, every single time. And of course, if you want to, Nvidia now, because they're pretty damn important. But if you don't, you know, you should at least remember 2 of them. You know, when I think of discretionary, what do I think of? You know, I think of Tesla, I think of Amazon, you know, and you'll always hear me spout out the top weights of that sector as I'm going through it. I always say, oh, we're looking at discretionary, this is your Tesla, Amazon, Nike, McDonald's, Home Depot sector. Oh, we're looking at tech, this is your Apple, Microsoft sector. Oh, we're looking at healthcare. Actually, I don't remember my healthcare stocks that well, I won't lie. But Eli Lilly, J&J, you know, these are kind of your big ones. And you'll see it here too on my watch list today. I didn't put the YouTube chat on so you guys can actually see this, but I think some of you should structure your watch list this way as well, where you have SPY, you have your ETFs and stuff, but also put a lot of your top weights in here, even some of the ones you don't watch. Like, I don't really care about watching J&J, but I have it on my watch list because I want to know when it's going up and down, because it's very important, because it's a very large portion of healthcare, and healthcare is a very large portion of SPY. It's the second largest sector in the market. So I just want to know what's it doing. So you can put a lot of your weights of the market just in here, and then you can see I kind of went off course after I got to, I think, after I got to JPM. So it looks like I did the top like 10-15 weights. I definitely went off course and just started adding my own stuff. I just started adding things I actually want to watch. So you can mix and match your watch list, but I think the beginning of it should have some structure, if that makes sense. Just kind of giving yourself like a reason for why some of them are first. So you get, I don't know, it's kind of like getting the vibe of the market here. Like if all of these are green, then the market's probably going up right now. Because you have the market's, you know, weights right there on that top left. I usually keep the top ticker for each sector in my first 5 of my watch. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Wow, that's a really good organized way of doing it too. You could also do, if you're a really big nerd, you could also just go in here and just create multiple watch lists and name them each, and then, you know, set each weight in there at the exact spot you need to. That's also very nerdy, but you'd be very organized. And what's up? There's not as many people in here today. You guys think some people took off today because tomorrow's Friday? Or you think maybe because of the week not moving as much, they were kind of like out of energy to trade today? Could have been attrition. You did that as well? Oh. I'm over here saying how that would be a nerdy thing to do, and then you're like, oh, that's what I did. Nah, it's good to be a nerd when it comes to these things. Ah, very cool post, Dondu. He has some runners for the CRM play still going. Good stuff. Oh, he went with a better date. Nice, okay. July 19th. Okay, so he gave it a couple extra weeks. So that's why his won't be up like 800%. Whereas the same week will be, because it has less time. The bigger the move, the crazier the percentage. And what's y'all's actual opinion, if anybody has one, on the Nvidia rally? Do you guys think it's over for now? Do you think we experience some consolidation? Because when I say it's over, that's what I mean. I don't mean, do you think it's gonna fall off a cliff? I don't think that. But I actually have some personal triggers for this chart. I think if we do end up getting a breakdown of 117, that is probably what's gonna bring us down to the lower 100 mark. If we do end up holding and just kind of consolidating over time, this could lead to another good move over 130s, over that gap fill, and this could be what sends it back towards all-time high. So, kind of interested in that move. But what's y'all's opinion? Do y'all think Nvidia is done for now? Do you think some of the hype kind of dies down a little bit as time goes on, and then maybe we start to see it, thrive again? Or do you think, whatever you think, share whatever you think. It's just a random opinion. It's okay to be wrong by sharing this opinion. It's not like we're betting on the over or under of our opinions. I personally think it's going to consolidate, and then randomly, as everyone starts to look away from it again, I think this is when you'll start to see it do another crazy leg up again. Maybe not to 200. I'm not going to say 200. I saw a lot of people targeting that. I would more say like 150, 160s from where we are. Not that much higher. Which, of course, should bring some cool moves for AMD. We all love AMD. At least the movement. Oh. Rollout said Nvidia 200 end of year. The SASS offering. Oh wait, here they are. Sorry, the heart was in the way. Their SaaS offering are getting huge purchase orders. Ryan says, I bet more people are thinking it's going to dump, so I could see it. Wow, so 2 people in a row. Y'all think it gets another pretty strong move up? Which, again, you're totally fine. Totally validated to think Nvidia will go up more. I was just seeing what y'all's thoughts were. It's pretty cool, though. So you actually do think 200 end of year. Which I'm glad you said end of year, because a lot of the people I was talking about are like saying 200 within like a week or two, and I'm just like, huh? That's not even feasible. It's like almost impossible. Cool thoughts, though. Just glad to pick y'all's brain a little bit, see what's up. We are still having trouble with 547s, or at least pushing a high over it. You can see that on the 5-minute. Still holding higher lows, though. Even on the 1-minute, you can see that is very clear, very apparent that we are still holding higher lows. It's like a very awkward grind-up move that just doesn't have its breakout yet. And when I say awkward, I mean because you have so many higher lows holding while not breaking that new high. Again, kind of just a big squeeze. Like I said earlier, you should still definitely be probably a little bit more bullish than bearish on this, but I would see why some of you are probably looking for good lower high retest that break 546.40 like we talked about earlier. But you can see even the idea I was talking about earlier has failed 1, 2, 3 times now. So probably not fun to just sit there and try to jump at every single one. Like I said before, and this is why I liked Leland's example from yesterday, is if you do ever end up taking inside of the range plays, or if you ever end up taking plays that are kind of against the system, because we're above today's open, you shouldn't even be thinking about puts yet. But using that structure break rule is a lot of fun, because if you actually do end up finding where we're holding a lot of candles, you know, at a support, or if we're at a certain level that you were looking at, and we're just holding, again, like I said, just a lot of supports there, then that's a very good level of structure. That's where price is basically saying, hey, as long as we're holding this, we're bullish. If you ever see a break of that, look for the retest away from that, not just the breakout move. Because if you catch the breakout move, you're going to end up getting into a loss, and then it's going to either, one, go without you, or it's going to do what we just saw here, jump rope the level a bunch, and it's like, wow, if I would have traded this every time it did that, I would have lost 5 times, you know, something like that. So you don't want to overtrade. You want to put yourself in a position where you're limited. You want to put yourself in a position where you have an actual rule that says, all right, well, if I am going to go against the system, let me at least look for this. And I think that structure break is what a lot of us need to be including into our game plans more. Not just looking for the breakout of 547, not just looking for the breakdown of today's open, but also what happens if we have, you know, one of these days like this where it is kind of bouncing in between 2 important areas at once. What is something we can do to take advantage of that? Having rules inside of the range, you know, whether that's taking, you know, a higher low after it holds the second time. You know, if you have a rule for it holding 6 times, have that rule. You know, same thing for, you know, vice versa. If we're going to have a structure break, you know, actually wait for one and then a retest away from it. You know, not just what I was showing earlier where it just did it once, you know. So, if you are going to go against the grain, have a rule. And that's really with anything, in any kind of trade you take. You need to have a rule of some sort. Something that is set beforehand. So when you're seeing it, it's like a parameter. You know, you see it, oh, it pops up, all right, bam, now I'm in. Or not in. You know, maybe it's a parameter to stop you from something. But I think those, like, absolute rules are very important to have for whatever. You know, if it's for taking losses, if it's for getting out of trades that are going against you, if it's for getting into a trade. Anything. Like I said, we are still struggling with 547s, even with us holding these higher lows. Let me remove this so people aren't as confused. This kind of went back to our conversation from earlier. How was everyone's week so far? I know it's Thursday. We still have all of today and tomorrow, but I just check in on everybody since we're going to have that private lifetime stream tomorrow. So I won't be here with everybody. But how was everyone's week so far? Even with, you know, the tail end of this week still here. In terms of your results, would you guys say you're producing good results and you're happy with them? Would you say you're producing bad results but you know what to work on? You know, you have something that you know, you have a direction at least to work towards. Do you just feel completely hopeless and you're losing and you don't know what to do? Where is everyone in terms of that? Hopefully not anybody's feeling completely lost. Hopefully everybody at least has something to work towards. Because that is definitely not a good feeling. I just saw what you said, Lee, then. The bubble has popped, NVIDIA to 50. If we lift China tariffs, then it would be 200 in an hour, lol. I think it's gonna range. I think I'm learning, trying to find consistency and patience. Okay, so you're just trying to find your footing, which is totally fine. I feel like that's where a lot of us end up being at for a while, and it's okay though, because that makes sense. You know, it's not like we're gonna start. And even if you do have a strategy that you're trying to learn, it's not like you're gonna learn that strategy in 5 minutes and then instantly be jumping into trades. Like, we're gonna have a little bit of struggle. We're gonna have a problem getting our footing, like I said. But that's good. You're giving yourself a chance. You got a path. If you had something to do every single day, like if homework, I would give you what rollout does. You know, I'm not joking. Like, whether you go into on demand, whether you do this while the market's moving and you're kind of taking mental trades and writing down a contract price and kind of watching it that way, or just seriously just mental trading where you're just watching the candles, not back testing with the contract. I would take as many mental reps as you guys can. Like seriously, try to stack up a win streak or stack up wins that make sense to you, and be able to write them out. If you're sitting here and you're like, I took puts, and then in your notes you were like, but we were above today's open and we had 3 higher lows. It's like, why the F were you in puts? That doesn't make any sense to me. But then if you were like, oh, but later on in the day we struggled against this and we broke structure and then we retested, which it's doing right now, and then pushed away, then that would make sense. You're doing something that makes sense. But make sense of whatever you're looking at or writing down, or however you're reviewing or back testing yourself. But give yourself a path. I really feel like that's what a lot of us need to grow, is just somewhere to go. It's really easy to be like, I want to start, but it's really hard to actually pick where to start and where to go and what to do and how to hold yourself throughout each day and kind of keep yourself in the system. Very quick move to the downside, by the way. So they did in fact maintain under the 547s. They've now broken this little, it's not really 546.40 perfectly, it's kind of like where my cursor is right now, if you guys want to draw this trend line. So they kind of built some structure here, a little higher low here. This is where they finally broke that little bit of a higher low trend we finally had broken. Retested under the 546.40 area and then broke it again. So a little ugly, not perfect to the T, but very close. But that was your first real structure break. But it's kind of funny because again, we're still not under today's open. It's still at a part of the chart where if a higher low is made, buyers can send it right back up. So keep that in mind. But very nice move so far to that downside from that area. And my bad, guys. I'm catching up to y'all's replies. I was just making sure I updated SPY a little bit. Hopeless, losing and trying to reset. Only mental trades from now through July. Don't do that to yourself. Don't say I'm doing this through July. No, do it until you feel comfortable. Do it until you've actually grown. Don't give yourself a target date. Don't do that to you. You said, but it's totally on me. I love that mindset. Working on patience and better entries. No, it's still cool to hear that out loud, JJ. I think that's crazy too, because, like, knowing it, yeah, it's like, duh, that's common sense, but it's still crazy to think about. Like, it's a really deep concept. It's like, wow, okay, wait. So for me to win this trade, I have to literally, I mean, you're not personally tricking somebody. They're just wrong about what they're looking at. But it is still crazy to think about. Garden Trader said, I feel good with charting, but trading is still a struggle for me. I have trouble moving between time frames. Which time frames would you say you switch through them? Which I think you and me have already been talking a lot on the side, and I think you kind of do something similar to me. Because I'm, like, for my scalps, and it also depends what are we doing. If you're swing trading, it's different. If you're day trading, it's different. If we're scalping, it's different. Personally, when I'm scalping, I love switching from that 5-minute, like, because you should already have your levels, right? If we're talking about taking trades, you should be past this mindset of like, all right, what levels do I need? You should already have your levels. That's not something we're talking about anymore. That's already set, right? Moving on from that, having your level set, preparing game plans. Do you guys write anything? I'm not just talking to Garden Trader. I'm not just talking to JJ. I'm not just talking to Ryan. I'm talking to everybody. But do you guys actually write out a game plan, or do you guys just kind of go with it? You just wing it. And I know a lot of you guys do type it out to yourself. I know some of you even go as far as typing it out into the chat for everybody else to see, which is very cool. But one big thing too, and this isn't just, for you guys, it's kind of a rhetorical thing to answer. You don't have to actually answer me. But make sure you guys are actually typing out game plans or writing them down or something, so you have evidence of yourself actually looking at it beforehand. And not really evidence, it's just so when you're going back and back testing later on, you can review and be like, oh, okay, well, this is what I thought. I thought it was bullish, but clearly this is not bullish. This is, whatever. Or maybe this is nothing, It doesn't always have to be just bullish or bearish, plain like that. I'm just trying to give a good example. But I feel like writing them out or speaking them out loud or having them down on something like on paper or in a note you might have in your computer or your phone. Because in my opinion, that's the most powerful app on your phone, on your computer. It's the notepad, because you can type out anything you want. You can have it set beforehand, then afterwards, let's say you're reviewing something and you're going back and looking at it, you could be like, oh, okay, well, why did I think this? Or I was bullish here. And then maybe you're reviewing your trade and you took a put. It's like, why did you ignore your game plan from before? That's not even a trading error. That's just you literally ignoring yourself. So it's, it's sometimes it's something as tedious as that, but you wouldn't know it until you tracked yourself that way. You might just think, oh, well, of course I thought that was bullish. Why would I think otherwise? Maybe you're like, there's no way I could be mistaken. But if anything, guys, try to find something you can do to kind of remedy things you guys are working on. So if you're having struggle working on time frames, then work on just simplifying that. Let's say you go through 5 time frames to chart. Maybe don't go through 5 time frames. Maybe, let's say, because I know a couple of you guys don't mark the levels exactly like I do, but I know some of you guys will get overwhelmed when you have every level on your screen. I know some of you mark monthly candles, weekly candles, daily candles, and you add the smaller time frame info, which I think is great to have it all because that shows that you understand it. But also at the same time, it might just be overwhelming you, and it might be a little harder to kind of track through the time frame. So if you have to also just limit what you're putting on your screen, maybe just stick to having like my method, where you're on the drawing screen. Have it to where these are just for scalping. Have another one for these are just for day trading. Have another one for this is just for swing trading or looking at the bigger time frame. Maybe it's not just for swing trading. Maybe it's just for analyzing. But I don't know. Find a remedy to kind of work with. If you're struggling with entries, you need to backtest. But that's just a backtesting problem. You just need to backtest more. And when I say backtest, I don't mean look at a bunch of candles and decide when you would have been bullish or bearish. That's not backtesting. Go through the chart, left to right. Actually write out, where would you have entered? What price was this contract at that time? And if you're not doing the contract back testing, that's cool. But at least go through the candles left to right and read through, all right, where would I actually be looking for a play? What is this? Identify different candlestick patterns. Identify different types of entries. Not just, where would you be bullish? Where would you be bearish? So try to come up with your own remedies that can help you with whatever you're working with. No matter what you're struggling with, there is something you can do. There's not a trick on YouTube. There's not a trick on Google. There's not... I don't know about ChatGPT, but... there's not an answer out there that's just going to just speak out to you and tell you exactly what you need to fix. You're the one who needs to, like I said, remedy something. You need to remedy a solution. Work on something. Work towards it. It's not just going to be a, bam, I did this once, I'm instantly never having that issue again. You're going to still have issues even as you're progressing with your issue. You're going to still have small problems, small mistakes. But work with them. Like, in a way, you're kind of building higher lows on your own mistakes or anything you might be struggling with. None of you guys should be having problems with drawing your levels, but for example, let's say you just, for some reason, you suck at drawing levels. Like, for some reason, you just can't have the same levels as everybody else, whatever it may be. Then you just need to go back through, delete all of your levels, delete your screen right there in front of you, go back and start over. It's okay to start over. It's okay to put yourself in a position where you're back at square one. But whatever you do, do not go backwards. Do not stop progressing. As soon as you stop is when it starts to get worse for you. Don't be that person that's complaining in chat, which we don't really have that person in chat, but don't be that person that's complaining and then going in there and doing nothing about it, because that's just you bitching, and we can't do anything about that, which I don't think any of you have that problem. I really don't ever see that, but I like to touch base on it. I never really look in chat and I'm just like, wow, this guy's a crybaby. I pretty much never see that. You guys are all pretty good about being mature and kind of keeping each other up there. And that's another thing. Be more open. I'm still in shock. Like, I'm not really getting on to you guys, but I'm still in shock that it's still like the same 4 people posting in Post Charts channel. It's a little embarrassing. That some people in here are saying you're struggling, but I don't even see you posting. So I'm not really getting on to anybody in particular, but it's very obvious that some of you don't care about being as open about it. And I get it. Maybe you're embarrassed. Maybe you don't want to share in front of others. But guys, there's not 1,000 people in here. There's like 60 to 80 to 100 people in here at most times watching these channels. That's it. It's not like there's a billion people. So don't be embarrassed. These are people who are just like you, who want to grow, who have the same problems as you, who have experienced the same BS as you, because they're all going through the same system for the most part. So please, be open about what you're doing. If you have a game plan that you need to post before the market opens, post it in Post Charts. If you just took a trade or a mental trade or a paper trade or you just are backtesting something, Go to result and review, post it in there so other people can read it as well. Put yourself out there. Don't just hide in a corner and pretend that you're growing. Be a flower. Grow in front of everybody. Be in the sunlight. And I'm not saying this, I don't care about the activity of chat. Like, I don't care if 5 people type in there. I don't care if 5,000 people type in there. Which I hope that never happens. But it's crazy because you really do hold yourself out there openly, and next thing you know, you're like held to a different level of conviction. Like, if you're making mistakes, it's not just like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll just do this again. No, you'll feel it more. You'll remember like the pain of being wrong. You'll remember like, wow, I posted that in chat and I was wrong. Like, let me work on this. You're holding yourself to a higher level. So I challenge any of you to post in there, because I see like Garden Trader. Garden Trader's been doing wonderful posting in chat no matter what she's posting. It doesn't matter if it's before the market, during the market, after the market. It doesn't matter. She's always posting. And there's a couple people like that too. D-Touch, Leland. There's a bunch of people like that who are always posting, or at least kind of keeping it in their little circle, which that's fine. But I urge you, seriously, post in chat. If you guys really do care about growing or want to kind of have somebody to grind up against or work with in chat, post in chat. I would gladly read over it while we're streaming, after stream, whatever. And anybody else in chat too can. There's a ton of people that are just like you, just like me. And we're looking at the same stuff too, so what can it hurt? But that is one thing I would like to see a change if there are people in here who really do want to grow. Is I would like to see more open progression, not just the same 3 people posting. And I'm not saying you have to post every day. Please don't post every day. That would literally burn you out. I don't want you posting every day in here. But the days you are going to be here, post. You should post what you're doing or what you're looking at or what you're planning around. Trade floor. If you just for some reason can't organize chat, I don't care. Post it in trade floor. It won't hurt my feelings. Post whatever you have. whatever you have there to at least get yourself out there. I challenge you. Every day I write down my game plan. My bad, Ryan. I was just reading this now. I was feeling that, then made multiple drawing sets for monthly feels. When I run out of paper in my notebook, I'll start posting in there. That's actually funny because that was actually the first thing that got me to post in Discord of what you just said. Way back in the day, I was in a group. I was only in one group before I made my own, and it was because of how trash this group was. But I was in one, and I was the type of person that never typed. I never talked to anybody. I would like DM one of the owners or whatever, who I thought was like kind of cool, and that was it. I would never ever type in chat. But the moment I told myself, I was like, you know what? I need to start being more open. I challenged myself. I said, you know what? If I can fill up this notebook of notes and just things I want to learn about or things I find interesting about the stock market, like whether it's dividends or compound interest or whatever, it doesn't matter. Writing notes about it in there. If I could fill up that notebook, I could then start to type more openly, and I could be a little bit more confident in myself. And I did. I filled up that notebook. I don't know how long. It took forever. It was one of those like college ruled books or whatever, but it was huge. But short story though, like a self challenge. Do this and you can do this. Okay, bet. I filled the notebook. Now I can type and chat more openly and be more confident about it. Instead of hiding and being in my own little corner. I can openly grow in front of others, and hopefully maybe they'll see something I'm struggling with, or maybe I help them with something they're struggling with. Maybe something just clicks reading something I might have posted. And that started to happen more and more and more and more and more, and that's somehow how this chat came to be. But just in short though, that's a cool challenge for yourself. If you could fill up that notebook, like, you should be confident enough to be typing in chat and type. Because I think other people think like, oh, I'm putting myself out there in front of others. This is embarrassing. Like, it's not like that in here. Like, it's not like we have people in here judging each other off of what they're doing. Like, everybody's really just posting their progression. Not really anybody's going to be here going, you all suck, you're stupid, this and that. Like, it's not like that. Like, we're not sitting here torching each other. But yeah, I challenge you guys, post more openly. Be more open if you are going to post your progression. I'm not even talking about money. Like, don't even share that. Don't share that aspect. I don't care about how much you're making or losing. That's not what we're talking about in here. How close are you to being with the system? How close are you to actually trading with the things that we talk about in here? Are you taking bearish candlestick patterns as they're breaking support, as they're rejecting resistance? Are you taking bullish candlesticks as they're holding support or pushing over new highs? You know, are you doing these small little basic rules that we like to talk about all at once? Because it's a lot. But in time, we can definitely work on it. We're never going to be perfect. %. Plus, I learned better by writing it down, but I feel like I got the system down with my game plan, even if it needs fine-tuning. There you go, see? It's like a starting point, and you can keep working from there. And now it's not a starting point anymore. Now that you've done it so much day in, day out, you know, you're far down that road. Good for you, Ryan. He then says, Bueller tortures me in the DMs. If you even get a reply. Oh! No, I'm kidding. It's like half true. That's why it hurt a little bit. Where's Leland's DMs? Here we go. Actually, what are you talking about? You just torch me in our own DMs. You just like flex on me every 5 seconds. You're like, dude, check out this. Dude, check out that. Dude, check out that. No, I'm just kidding. I almost like said something, but I was like, oh wait. That's wrong. Don't do that. What's up, Leland? What you up to right now? How's your day? Saw you trading some stuff. I was looking. Oh wait, that wasn't you I was looking at. That was an old post. My bad. You don't trade. Who am I talking about? No problem, Ryan. Thank you for working so hard. Keep at it, man. There's going to be weeks where you feel no progression at all, and you're just like, what the hell, and you just feel so lost. But then you're going to have those click moments, and they're going to feel like you just dominated life. Those are the greatest feelings ever. When you're struggling and you just finally get past that barrier. I need to ask more dumb questions, dude, literally. I feel like that's me sometimes, like, man, I'm just not asking the right questions. Excuse me. Trading will make you bipolar if you are not already. Done, my day is green. Good job, Mel. Great work. And it looks like our little inside of the range analysis was accurate, just a little late. Or early, I should say. But like I said, really cool seeing some structure actually build here. A break of it, a retest away from it, and then they actually make it down to the target. And of course, we are on the 1 minute. And this is what I was talking about. You know, I really like to set up my stuff on the 5 minute, you know, have my levels ready here. But I really like to kind of analyze it on the 1 when I'm actually going for a trade. Because this is where you'll get a lot more of your, I don't know, just it actually is like happening. It's real. It's right here in your face. Whereas the 5 minute, sometimes you'll get into your trade and you're like, oh shit, there's another minute left. Yeah, you don't really have to worry about that as much on the 1 minute. But I like to set it up on those bigger time frames, the 5, the 10, the 15, whatever you find comfortable. Set it up on that chart time frame. Then you can go down to the smaller time frame and actually go off of what's being posted. If you're scalping, I don't recommend this for longer hold types trading or swing trading at all. I wouldn't even bother looking at that time frame. Looks like IWM is also trying to break down. They broke structure here because you can see they pushed up, held right here, so there's clear structure here. They're breaking it right now, so they're trying to give us that same scenario SPY did, but it might not be in a good timely manner. But we'll see. If they give you a good bearish retest, watch for that on IWM. Triple Qs, I would like to say the same thing, but they're actually still holding above that high, or trying to, I should say. So we'll see if they hold that or not, but they're jump roping it right now. Apple has definitely had a significant slowdown. Microsoft's still holding a lot of their gains right now. Amazon's still doing well. Nvidia also gave us a little bit of weakness in that latest pullback. So there is some weakness afoot here in a couple of these sectors. It's not just like one stock is up. Like, no, I would say each sector has a couple stocks that are up, a couple that are down. As you can see, Tesla, Amazon are kind of in the wrong parts of their charts. Meta, Netflix, Goog, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. Each of those three sectors are showing that. Wow, Boeing, I just realized. Having a really good day right now. Excuse me. I know since my break, I'm definitely a little rusty, so I will definitely be back testing a lot this weekend and just kind of getting back in the groove. So I really want to get back into taking a lot more scalps like I was before. Scalps can be a lot of fun because a lot of the time you'll be in and out very quickly. You'll learn a lot more after your trade is over. I really like scalps for that exact reason more than anything. People don't talk about that. But it's not about the gains and the losses. I really love taking scalps because right after you're done, I guess it kind of ties back to being like connected to the chart. You know, if you're someone who's like never opened a chart ever before in your life, of course you're gonna have no intuition behind what you're even looking at. But let's say you're someone who backtests every single day, every single week. You're someone who's really in tune. You're just super focused. You know, you're probably super in tune with the chart. You probably have really good intuition with what can happen on that chart, right? But you're still not in tune as someone who is actually trading that chart. Someone who just traded it and is out of their trade and just kind of watching. They're going to be as in tune as you can be. You know, you can't really be more, you know, like I said, in tune. I don't know what else, what other word I would use. Focused, you know, on that price action, on what can happen, on your intuition on what's possible. You know, knowing the possibilities of what's in front of you. You're never going to be more in tune than someone who's literally just traded that chart. So when you guys take scalps, don't just think about it in terms of like, all right, did I win or lose? Or what kind of trade did I take? You know, also watch the chart a little longer. Don't just instantly go review. Watch that chart for another 20, 30 minutes. You might end up learning something like that might be a good light bulb moment for you. But it's like trading clarity. I'm not trying to be funny or make anything up, but it really is. Like as soon as you just took your trade, it's like someone just smacked you in the face and was like, "Yo, wake up!" And you're just having like clarity on, okay, well, what's happening on the chart now? And you're not as biased because you're the one who just made money. You have nothing to risk. You have nothing to lose. You just made money. You just killed it. You don't have to worry about anything. So of course you're able to see this with a non-biased view. So try to backtest and review a lot more after you've taken your scalps. Don't just go for scalps and think like, okay, I need to make it to that target. No, you don't. Take your 15% right there. Review the rest of the chart. You don't need to catch that full experience. You don't need to catch that full, you know, whatever percent you would have gotten. But just catch those quick trades and review. Try to get more in tune. Try to put yourself into gear. Keep yourself motivated. It's not always about catching big winners. It's not about being rich. Money in this market is the result of what you do. So if all you're focused about is money, your result is going to be very bad. If you're focused on the actual structure of what you're trying to do, then the outcome will just be great. Or your system sucks. Really depends. Damn, it's already 10:15. It's just been, time is flying, even though it really didn't feel like the price is moving crazy, but so far today, here's previous day close right here. Here's today's open, so we're just kind of watching that as like a big pivot point. Here's the high of the week. This is from Monday. Tested it perfectly today, but all we've done today is had a little bit of a lower open, so nothing crazy on the overnight session. Big move up into that resistance, pretty normal, pretty natural. Good rejection of it, no break of the level under, so it's just a good way of them saying like, alright guys, expect us to be here until we get a break. It's like them telling us. We get another move up, new high of day. This is where they rejected. Since then, we've had a lower high, seen a breakdown of what was a nice little higher low trend we had going for the majority of this morning, and now we have another more solid test of the previous day close just now. So we're back to square one basically. Also, need to also jump out to the daily time frame and remind ourselves what's really going on. You know, what's going on, what's happening. And we're just trading inside of this candle still. We are just still stuck inside of this candle. Like I said, we are stuck inside of this week's high. This is from Monday. This candle right here. So it's like we're stuck with that gap down, but we're also stuck with the low of that move. Which you don't have to add those levels. If you want to, you can. You should already have these on your smaller time frames, but for the bigger time frame chart, it's just interesting to see, like, yeah, we've gone up, but we really haven't gone anywhere. So we're just still hanging around the all-time highs of SPY, and this is most likely because of all the rallying from tech and a couple other bigger weights in the market. But make sure you guys are zooming out when you can. It's very easy to kind of get tunnel visioned when you're looking on the smaller time frames like we do in the stream so much. But definitely give yourself that chance and look at that daily. It's also cool to kind of look at it and get a bit of an opinion before anything happens from the bigger time frame, and then on the smaller time frame you're not maybe biased, but you know, at least you have a sense of direction of what it can do from certain areas. You know, if you're like, oh, it should do this if we break 546, then you know, at least you know that on the smaller time frames that there's some pressure that can build up there. Ryan said, I find it's easy to forget parts of the system, but I know it's a... Wait, the heart's in the way again. Lack of time in the market for me. I mean, there is a lot, but you just got to remember the basics. Like, try to think about just the structure of what is our system. Our system is just price history. And that's why I try to dumb things down so much. It's not to, like, make it simpler for you to remember it. It's so all of us can remember it. It's so all of us can remember, like, it really is super basic. You know, you could say our system's complex because it has so many different rules and different things that happen and parameters, but it really is super basic. You know, you have the levels, right? That's like step one, the levels, and it's just price history. You know, if we're day trading levels, then we're doing the daily time frame. We're jumping down to the 5 minute. We're doing our supply and demand. You know, and I get, you know, that can be a lot. And then there's the other thing. You know, it's like swing trading. What do we do for that? What do we do for this? You know, and it is a lot, but as long as you can remember those quick basics, you know, basic things about every single part of the system, I think that's what's important. You know, it's okay if you don't remember every name to every candlestick pattern, but by God, if I show you a bullish engulfing, you better damn well remember that's bullish. You know, you should at least know that. It's okay if you don't know every little tedious thing about it. But I think over time, like you said, more market time, I think that'll be cool to learn those tedious things. Like, oh, this is the name to this pattern. Oh, this is the rule behind this. Or, oh, this is how I should draw that fib. You know, but step one, I'd say price history, your levels. Step two, your entry types. I feel like my entry types weren't just for trading. You know, it's not just for getting in and out of a trade. It's also to how to navigate between the levels, right? If I'm seeing a 40% entry, what are we seeing? A breakout. If I'm seeing an 80% entry, what am I seeing? I'm seeing a retest of a breakout. I'm seeing a retest of an important level. I'm getting a sense of direction from a retest. You know, it's not like it's just for trading. It's also for navigating the levels. So don't think of the 40%, the 80%, the 90%, you know, the buy the dip. Don't think of all that stuff as just trading entries and how to get into to trying to make money, but also think about it as how to navigate in between these important levels or areas that we mark up. Which again, just price history. I think if we just dumb it down as much as we can, it'll be a lot easier to remember, because that's really why I do it. It's not like really for you guys, it's for me. I don't remember stuff that well. But if I can remember the basics of it, I can remember that it's something easy. I can make my brain think, "Oh, this is easy to remember. This isn't anything complex." Then I can remember it forever. It's not anything I'll ever forget. A lot of ranting I've done in these three days of streams, but I swear it's just the passion. If you go back through these last 3 days, there's been a lot of talking and breaking down on all kinds of different topics, but trying to stay focused. A lot of it's, of course, involving with like the system or maybe a trade review or a question someone's asked. But really, these last 3 days have been full of so much. We've really talked about just about everything in these 3 days. At least it feels like. He said, like, I understand the basics, daily BB levels, entry, supply, demand. It's more following market structure with candles and reading. Oh, okay. Kind of in the moment kind of thing. Yeah, that's definitely a different game. That's not the same. That's like next level. Because yeah, the basics, that's one thing, but doing it in real time is another. Which that's not so basic in my opinion. Like you said, market time. But even some of the better people struggle too. Like you would think me and Leland are undefeated, but me and Leland try to share with you guys all the time how much we lose. You know, it's not just we're not undefeated. We lose all the time too. You could be amazing at trading and still suck at some, you know, parts of your trading journey, but you're going to have these slip ups. You're going to have these moments where you get lazy. You're going to have these moments where you just aren't paying as much attention. You know, maybe it's because of something happening in life. Maybe it's something else. You know, whatever it may be, though, you're just not you. But it's not like it's easy to. I've literally always said this. Like if I've said one thing a million times in this group and in these streams, it's everybody makes it seem like trading is so easy. And yes, getting started is very easy. Getting into trades is very easy. But you know what the hardest part of trading that not a single person will ever mention to you? Is maintaining. Maintaining is by far the hardest thing to do in anything in life, not just trading, in anything. You go and you pursue something. It's very easy to get started. It's even easy to see what path is in front of you, to see where you should be going with different things. You know, if you're trying to be a professional bowler, you know, you can kind of see what you need to do to try to work towards that. But then getting onto that path and sticking to it, that's the effing hard part. That's the part that really makes you just want to pull your hair out. Because it's not like there's going to be days where you just don't see any progression, where you don't feel it or have any real progression at all, you know, and it's gonna definitely take a toll on you. So like I've always said, it's really easy to get started. Anybody can do this. I mean, any animal can click buttons on a damn phone, right? But not anybody can just sit here and do this all the time and maintain and have and that's why I came up with some of the things that we have. Like I call it the TA routine. Do you guys know why? The technical analysis routine is so you don't go crazy. It has nothing to do with, oh, these are the best levels in the market. Like, yes, it's how we draw our levels and stuff, but it's made that way so you have a system to do things. So you have a rule set. So you have an order to do things. That's why we have order of operations. So you have an order to do things. So it's not chaotic. So when you are expecting to have good results and you're looking back at your what you did and you're like, oh, okay, well, I've been inconsistent because I'm not doing this every time I take this type of trade. I'm not doing this every time I mark this level. It's inconsistent. So you messed up from the beginning. But if you didn't know that, you'd just be having all kinds of results from all kinds of trades. So I guess again that kind of ties into what you already said. Market time. It's like a marathon. It's simple but not easy. And both just seem simple. Yeah, I know. Like, getting started, anybody can get started. Literally anybody. A child could... I mean, they shouldn't because it's illegal to trade at that age. But anybody can get started is what I'm saying, you know? But it is impossible to sit here and say, oh, it's so easy to maintain. It's so easy to be here every day and trade. No, it is not. It is the hardest thing ever to do is maintain and be here every day or be here every week. And you shouldn't. You know, some people, when they hear me speak, they think like, oh, he just doesn't want us to trade all the time. He's such a passive, you know, he's a bee. He's not going to give us what we want to do. He's not going to give us call outs all the time. And you know why? It's because I actually trade. Because I actually understand the stresses and strains behind trading. I understand that it's not just up all the time. It's not just green. It's not just amazingness all the time like everybody likes to make it out to be. No, there is plenty of struggle and strain. I've had full-on Discord owners tell me, I don't even have to trade anymore. I just sit here and I collect my memberships and I just talk to my people and I just... You know how many Discord owners have told me that? And that's why I don't talk on Twitter anymore. That's why I don't talk to anybody on there anymore. It's because they aren't real traders. They don't understand what it is to... What that marathon is. They have no idea. They might have a decent feeling of what it might be, but they have no idea what it is like to maintain over the course of not just a couple days, not just a couple weeks, not just to look cool in front of your friends, but to do this every week, every month, every year, to work this in, year out. It is a bitch and a half, excuse my language. But that's why I don't talk to any of these other bigger traders anymore, because they're all not real. They don't trade. I can tell it in their voices. They do not trade. They don't understand the journey. You guys are 10 times the traders of any social media trader I've ever met. You know why? Because you're actually experiencing the struggles and strains of that marathon that we're talking about, of that, of that journey. It's not just a bunch of fake experiences and you're like, oh, I don't have to trade anymore. I'll just watch other people fucking lose money. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So, seriously, guys, don't be so hard on yourself. It is a bitch. You're not alone in this. But try to be more open. Like I said earlier, be more open about your journey. I think you'd start to realize a lot of people are in the same boat as you in a lot of different scenarios. And there's a lot of things we can do to work on those remedies that we were talking about. It's not just end of the world. We're not hopeless. There's many things we can do to progress towards different goals we might have, whether it's something in life or something in trading. In this instance, of course, we're talking about trading. But I don't know. Seriously, go back and rehear what I just said, everything I just said. I really would think about that for a bit. But, yeah. I'll stop ranting now. We can go back to just looking at SPY and talking about price action. But it gets me, because there's so many people who give up so easily. And it's not their fault. Maintaining is a bitch. I don't ever get onto anybody when they're like, I need a break. I agree with them. You do need a break. But people think I'm joking when I say, like, you shouldn't be trading every day. You shouldn't be trading every single move. And if you are, that's your problem. You're failing because you're trading every day. I'm sorry, but when one of you come in here and you tell me that you're trading every day, that's a red flag to me. Because that's just not right. That's impossible. You should not be trading every single day. There's not a good trade every day. You're lying. You're making a trade up. There's something going on there. You're over trading. You should not be trading every single day. Every day, though, you should be prepared. Every day you should have your charts ready. You should have a game plan posted. You should have something set that says, I'm doing this if this happens. I'm doing that if that happens. Parameters. And if you do anything outside of that, guess what? That's unplanned. That's not fair for you to look back at yourself and be like, well, I suck at trading. I just did this on the fly and I didn't do it right. Well, no, you didn't have it prepared. You weren't planned. That's not really your fault, but it is your fault. Both in the same boat. But all right, rant over though. We're just going to look at some price action now. But I just hate seeing people struggle and then they think that they're the only one struggling, because you're not. I promise you, you're not. Everybody struggles. I struggle. Leland struggles. Some of the best traders in chat struggle. The internet is a very false place to look. And again, you've seen me. I would rather have a smaller Discord community than look cool on Twitter, than look cool on the internet. I don't care about that, because there's nothing that I'm going to get from that. Will I get more money from people signing up? Yeah. Will I get more people to join my chat? Yeah. Will they make more fake friends on the internet? Yeah. But what is the point of that? There is literally 0 point to that. So I challenge you guys, like, seriously, stop looking at social media so much. Like, I promise you that's like 80% on why you're making mistakes. Not like your personal socials. I mean like trading socials. Like, you shouldn't be looking at 50 billion different opinions. By the way, SPY is breaking down that support finally. We're on the 5 minute. Let's switch back and see what that 1 minute's showing us. Ever since that breakdown of structure, you know how earlier we were like, you should be more bullish than bearish because of these higher lows? We're kind of getting the same thing to the opposite side now. We're seeing a change in trend. You can kind of see it like higher low or highs, higher lows, no more highs, lower highs start to set in. It's kind of like a cool little channel change, which don't draw your lines like that, but it's just kind of cool to see it that way. Following trend. If there's one thing that I feel like gave me a light bulb for my scalping or my day trading, or just reading trend, not even just for taking real trades, but just for like reading the chart. I would say something that helped me out a lot was something Leland told me a long time ago, was just follow my highs and lows. You know, and if sometimes you're gonna look crazy drawing it like this, but you should do this just for fun. But draw like, where did it go? Okay, so it's got a higher low there. Okay, where did it go when it did this? Okay, so we got some highs. Nice. Okay, cool. So you have like an open channel, clearly. So pretty much anything's possible there. What happens over here? Okay, awesome. We got more highs. So it's still in an uptrend on the highs. What are my lows telling me? All right, awesome. We're still in an uptrend here. What happens now? Okay, well, a clear slowdown has happened. It didn't really break it to where like there's not higher lows anymore, but it also didn't ruin it to where it's just not going anywhere, right? So it's just kind of sitting to the right. What has it done from here? It built that little base that we're showing. Okay, so no new highs and a lower high starting to step in. So you can kind of see it here. And you can see the channels kind of starting to tighten up a little bit. Excuse me, my voice is going out. What does it do? It breaks structure. It goes to where the structure was, and then it retests away from it. I mean, that's an obvious bearish retest there inside of the range. What happens now that we're down here? So don't draw that retest. Go back. What are your highs telling you now? We see our lows have now changed. We still have no new highs. What are our highs telling us now? Lower highs. So don't just like follow this stuff and look for trading entries. Read your highs and lows. So I feel like sometimes just having that in your head will also give you a good sense of direction. Will you always end up on the right side of the trade doing that? No, you're going to make mistakes. Price is going to reverse on you sometimes. That's fine. That's going to happen. But at least put yourself in the scenario where you're at least right more than not, you know, and you're going to definitely be in that situation by marking your highs and lows, by understanding, okay, which trading entry is this? Wow, they are really dumping this now. That's another new low of day. Thank you guys. Motivation Healing said, I trade every day plus from London Open to... Damn, you're like Tobias. Tobias doesn't ever stop. I feel like Tobias sleeps like 2 hours a day. But good for you though, Motivation Healing. I hope you have much success in your trading. More headaches with all that too, 100%. Oh. I swear, when these streams start out, I'm always like, alright, dude, don't rant as much today. Just go easy. They don't care. Like, just focus on price action. Do this, do that. And then the stream starts, I'm like, alright. Rant continues. I really don't mean to do it. I really just am passionate about this shit. I hate seeing people struggle because I know you guys are pretty smart. And it's not about IQ. It's nothing like that. But it's just, a lot of you guys have such a good sense of direction. And then you just let some of the dumbest stuff get in your way. And I'm the same exact way, and I think that's why it pisses me off so much, is because I do the exact same thing. You know, I'm like, damn, like I'm doing so good, everything's right, everyone's doing so well, and then you slip up once, and you're like, what am I doing? You just lose yourself. So I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it real because it really is like, it feels like a lot of the time. You know, it's like sometimes when you're trading, it's like you're choosing between looking cool and just being yourself. And you should just be yourself every time. Like, seriously, fuck lying. Screw all the egotistical building stuff, you know. Who cares if you take you should be proud, you know, to be someone who can share their loss and understand and move on from it and grow from it. You shouldn't be someone who hides and runs from their losses. Don't be like that. It will only create more hesitation, more fear, more problems. Trust me. Trust me, bro. Never trust anybody who just straight up says, trust me. Oh. God. I don't know what it is. We gotta start calling this something like the Leland time zone or something, because I'm not joking. Whenever the market has these days, and it happens a lot. I feel like this happens a ton. But everybody, like, the first, like, 2 hours will just be, like, completely nothing. Like, it'll just be, like, information building, basically. and then everything after those first like 2-3 hours is really good trading opportunity, or it ends up just being good fake outs. But either way, it's like the first couple hours of the day are like really good for just grabbing context, like we were talking about earlier, and then waiting for a better trade. Because this could have definitely held and made new highs and had new all-time highs by now, but it didn't. It rejected. It broke structure inside of the range. It came back down. So it's just cool to see that there are still trades happening in the middle of the day, when I feel like a lot of the popular opinions will tell you that lunchtime is boring, only trade the morning, only trade power hour. When really you guys should split this up into 3 different parts. Yes, there is a morning session. Yes, there is a lunchtime session, and a lot of the time it is a lot slower and there's more consolidation phases. But that's not the case every day. And yes, there is a power hour kind of zone there. So you can kind of split the day up into 3 parts in your head a little bit. But just because the first 2 don't do anything, that doesn't mean power hour can't do anything, and vice versa. If the first 2 parts of the session are doing amazing, that doesn't mean the third still can't do anything. So definitely chill on that aspect. Yo, what's up, AK? How you doing, man? Oh, I liked your tweet, didn't I? I saw your Tesla post and I was like, damn, this is nice. I loaded Twitter for 2 seconds and it was AK's post. Because I'll share my link still, but I do not check that app anymore. I hope you're doing good though, AK. You are someone I did actually like following on there. You had some nice TA, good breakdowns. I like that you always cover both sides. It's not just like, oh my god, guys, this is bullish, make sure you're buying calls right here, right now. I love that you're not like that. Oh, it did hit your target. Okay, nice. Good stuff. I'll go check it out real quick. I was watching it on my chart too. I didn't have any trade plans or anything like that, so I'm not going to be like, I said it too, but I was looking at the fact that it was kind of sitting in this range for just a really fat minute, and this is such a famous Tesla thing. I think maybe people nowadays probably don't remember it like this, but I remember before COVID and kind of leading into COVID, this actually was so famous for doing these like really long consolidation periods, and they'd have really, really big moves. Consolidation period, really big moves. Consolidation period, really big move. Very famous for very long periods of consolidation. And it's kind of doing it again, but like you just said too, it kind of had its good move. Hitting 200 too, so that's really cool. Well, not hitting it, but getting close. Very cool though. And, if it does end up sticking its head out of range for a lot longer, we probably could see 207, probably 210 area. And if not, they just kind of bring themselves back down. They don't just poke their head above and come back down. Maybe we'll probably see this higher low right here get tested, 181s, where they jumped from here. But that's if that fails. But I did see your post. I saw your big squeeze, your triangle. I thought that was cool. I don't use Twitter much anymore. Too much nonsense on there. But I try to share a gem now and then. Yeah, you were like one of the few pages I enjoyed looking at. I had notifications for your post. That's probably why I saw your tweet today. I had notifications for you, and I can't remember the other page. I had one more page. It was like low key as hell too. I'd never heard of this person ever, but the charts they posted were just like so clean. And it wasn't like the bias posting. It wasn't like, oh guys, this is clearly bullish, make sure you're long. Like, no, they'd give triggers, and it was kind of cool because that's how I like to post. So it's kind of cool to try to learn from it. Leland said my post scared him off X. No, your posts were pretty funny too. Leland would like not be on there for trading at all. He'd be on there for smoke. Leland's spirit animal is Nancy Pelosi. That's funny. Mike in chat said get ready, comma, space, semi's about to drop. Anybody want to tell him? god, I see not Leland is typing in there right now. Oh god. Adding $1 to my fund to buy the Mets. Wait, what inside joke am I not getting? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cam, good post. Hold up. I gotta add these to my list. Pan W. Oh, wait, I think I have these. I love when you guys type. Okay, we don't have it charted, though. Good. If I had $1 for every time Miker mentioned NVIDIA, I could buy the Mets. Oh, my God. Yo, actually, though. That's probably one of the funniest jokes you could do in chat right now is if you go to the search bar, anybody could do this. If you go to the search bar and you search up M-I-K-R, Miker, his name is Team Mascot King of Theta, that guy. If you look up his message history and you just, after you type his name in the search bar, space bar, type NVIDIA, just like the ticker, and you'll see all of his message history of when he's typed that in any message ever. And it is so hilarious. You will die crying. Like, if you know stocks, you know all this stuff, you will die crying reading that search history. It is so funny. I mean, it's not like he's losing a lot of money or anything. It's not like that. But the amount of times he will say, like, NVIDIA is dying or NVIDIA all time, it's hilarious. So if you ever just need a good laugh from chat, please look that up. It is very funny. What's the other one he used to type a lot? Leland, you would know. He would do NVIDIA a lot, and then it was another one. The other one was funnier. To buy the Mets, that's funny. Wait, why the Mets? Are the Mets like the cheapest team? He said some. Oh. No, JJ, that was definitely not just individually for you. I mean, to be honest, it's like, I'm probably speaking about myself and personal experiences, but I see things you guys do too, and I'm just trying to, like, share it, and if it ends up helping, cool. If it ends up not, then whatever. We move on, we progress. We grow. But no, that was to everybody. Everybody needed to hear what I said, because, me included. There's just so much we can take away from all that. Just need to do better. Please, coin finish as an inside bar for once. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, so I'm focused on the high and low of that candle. It's just a potential short-term demand. Monthly emerging candle at basically 450. But what I was like, ooh, about is because I saw multiple lows. Hammer here, hammers here, hammer here, hammer here. And we got a big one right here. So, just cool seeing potential buying pressure probably early on picking up from MasterCard to go back up to maybe just test 450. I'm not going to say it's going to rally, but maybe it goes and smacks 450. Took more pooters. Oh yeah, cool bearish retest under today's open right now. You have a single candle retest. Also, if I use the fib to go from today's open, which is the level we're focused on right now, to the low of the move that just broke, you can also see it is a single candle retest, but it's also holding the midterm retest fib. So keep your eyes on this area if you're watching this fib. If you're someone who's in my premium section of chat, we just went over this yesterday on AMD in that channel. It's titled Bueller Leland TA. But this also experienced one of those just yesterday. So we'll see if this ends up also copying it. You can go to the 1 minute too. Like I said, set up your information on the 5, go to the 1. We have an inside bar breaking lower. So you do have a confirmation of a bearish candle rejecting a bearish area. So you have two check marks on the same chart right now. Now, all you're looking for is either some fresh lows, or you'll see some bulls retake this area. And if they do get back above where this inside bar was, that would be where I have a little bit of caution, still being someone holding puts. And of course, a push over today's open and yesterday's close would also not be good for that. So just kind of talking about both sides of what can happen here. But very good for bears here, in my opinion, on the 1 and the 5 minute. And again, all of the updates that we talk about in here are pretty much all intraday related. I'm pretty much talking about in the moment. I'm not ever going to sit here and be like, guys, I really think SPY is just going to be at 560 by 2.5 months from now. Like, we don't really do that in here. I don't have any magic potions that tell me the future. And I'm not Marty McFly. Ooh, very clean post by a couple people in chat. Someone named OG and Maddie Clams. I'm looking over these now. These are some really clean charts. I like how it's just levels and zones and bam, that's it. And then just straight to explanation. These are the trade reviews I want to see more of. These are nice. Straight to the point. And I like how Maddie too, he's not embarrassed to post a mental trade right there either. He's posting whatever he thinks. He's posting whatever he's trying to go over. I love that. This is your house. This is your home. So you should be allowed to just post wherever the hell you want. Whatever you... I mean, don't post whatever you want, of course. We do have some rules here. Probably shouldn't say that so loosely with some of the goofballs we have in here. Where's Creator Trades? Has anybody seen him type? Oh, he typed today. Okay, he's still around. I feel like the two goofballs when I said that I'm thinking of are like Creator Trades and Ace. These are like the two people I think of every time. In a good way, of course. They're funny. Oh, it's you, German. Okay. You're OG. My bad. I thought the profile pic looked familiar. Appreciate you too, AK. Always seeing Leland's comment. Yeah. Leland's a little comedian in his own world. What can I say? What's up, John? How you doing? John Rad. Oh, you're in there, AK? Here, I'll give you some perms so you can actually, like, talk. AK, can you say hi in the trade floor so I don't have to touch my search bar? Because my search bar is, like, messed up. My Discord search bar is screwed. Just say, like, hi or a number or something. And I'll just give you access so you can see more. Done for the day. Oh, wait. Cured cancer also in video. Oh, cured cancer. That was the other term that he used a lot. He'd always be like, Coinbase cured cancer or Moderna. Like, anytime something went up very quickly a lot, he would just say that. Oh, he's a Mets fan. That's funny. Posted in results and reviews thanks to the stream B. Change my reviews. Okay, thank you, German. Love you too, Maddie. Okay, you were both here while I said that. Good. I'm glad y'all heard that. Because I wasn't joking. Y'all's trade reviews were very clean. It's kind of like relieving, I'm not gonna lie, when like you're someone who didn't trade that day, or you're someone who did trade and you missed out, or you lost and you just feel like you didn't learn something. It is a relief to go into that channel and just read someone else's trade and be like, okay, why didn't I see this? And it makes you feel so stupid sometimes. You're like, damn, this was so simple. Like, why didn't I see that? And sometimes it just kind of reminds you, like, all right, maybe next time I just sit on my hands more. I just wait. Like, quit jumping onto everything. Because if you were someone who took trades at, you know, 840, you were someone who definitely weren't catching trades at 1040. You know, and let's say a lot better of a trading opportunity popped up at 1040. Now, it's not going to be the case every time, but I think it's a little easier to say, like, maybe you should wait 2 hours into the market rather than saying, I'm only going to wait 5 minutes. If you wait 5 minutes, you have less context than somebody who has been sitting here for, you know, an hour and a half or so. Yo, thank you, AK, but... there you have those two, so you can at least see some shit. There you go. Alright, cool. Well, welcome, AK. Glad to have you. Feel free to post everywhere. I was a little bit anal about organization on where everyone posted, but I really don't care anymore. Just post wherever you want. I'm just glad to have everybody here. I kind of let my chat moderate itself, because they're all moderators to their own extent. Also, again, just to kind of remind everybody, Rollout does not do this every single day, but a lot of days you guys should definitely check out the voice chat channel after hours. Some days you'll see him. Some days you'll see Daffy in here too. I don't want to just put the pressure on Rollout, but there's other people in here who have access to come in here and stream whenever they want and talk to whoever they want. So if you guys ever see somebody streaming here that isn't me, they have permission. You should definitely come check out what they're talking about. You don't have to even reply, but you can come in here and listen in to whatever anyone's going over. But a couple cool people in here have access to that, so I would definitely check into that whenever you see that happening. Yo, that hand emoji is still got a grip on me, Leland. Who is the person that showed that to me? Kevin? Bro, when Kevosh started sharing the hands, I can't. The hands are the greatest emojis ever. One of them's like a Jedi mind trick, and then the one where he's like pointing up is like they're using the Force, like to like throw something. I mean, it's a Jedi, dude. I'm sorry. Like Star Wars sucks now, but that's a Jedi emoji. Oh yeah, Force stop. What the hell? What? Oh, dude, you shouldn't have. Hold up. Where did you even get this? This is about to go into my favorites bar so quick. Rightwards underscore pushing underscore hand. Yeah, that one's like Italian pizza vibes. Here, let's just type in hand. Wow, they are there. Did they add these? Favorite. If y'all saw my favorite emojis, y'all would laugh so hard. What is with them coming out with like emoji hands that are just straight up like Star Wars? I mean, I'm not complaining, I like it, but it's just kind of funny. That's pretty cool. Missed your opportunity on Microsoft. Where'd you miss it? Show me. I'll be your back test buddy. Where are we looking? Oh, hold up. My Microsoft chart's not right. Wait, where did this open today? Oh, right there. I was so blind. Whoops. Okay, now I'm at the right part of the chart. I think I have this all correct now. We didn't open here, but we have that level, so we'll just leave it there. And honestly, probably add this demand here. Just because it's kind of obvious. And then let's add today's high, because why not? And now it looks a little more cleaned up. 1 minute time frame, my bad. Alright, we're on it. Alright, where am I looking? What opportunity did my boy Ryan just miss out? Is it this break of structure that right here? The break of 554.20s-ish area? I could even see you saying you like it right here. Basically this. Is this what you're gonna say? I try to do this too a lot with like Mel or Leland or anybody I might have one-on-one with in the past. It's really cool to try to figure out where someone entered or exited before they tell you. Because like Ryan's giving me context on the chart. He's giving me context that he missed out on something. I should be able to try and go find where it might have been. Yeah, right there. Damn. At least you're looking in the right spot. Because if I go to this and I go look at this and you were like, well, I was talking about up here, that's not really as high probability. But where you were looking, very lovely. In Discord? Alright, my bad. I am going right now. Ah, cool. Good job. And you had a contract you were watching. Good stuff. Alright, so you missed out, but this is a good miss out. Because you missed out, but you were definitely looking at all the right stuff. Leland reminding everybody where he's out, if wrong. Show your favorites. Oh, God. Hold up. I need to go add some to my favorites so I look like I like my own chat. Hold up. Leland has more Bueller Buys things favorited than I do, bro. I don't even have a single of my own emojis in here favorited. Hold up. Yeah, you know what? No, you know. I'll show you what I have. I'll show you what I have. I won't cheat. And you'll see that I just added... you'll see that I just added yours. My favorite one is the blue check mark because it looks super official. The fire, because I just like to hype people up. Like if I see fire, I do that the most. But you can see my final 4. I started just doing the hand, or final 5. I got Gojo on there, and then I got Rambo. But that's because the Rambo emoji is kind of tough. And because Rambo's one of my favorite people in chat. But yeah, and then the red, the green, of course, the yellow, because whenever I have to manually type polls, I need those 3 colors, so I have those there. See, I have reasons for mine. Blood, I have that one there for when Leland says SPX is falling. I'll just have the blood emoji ready. Which, speaking of SPX, she's being very stubborn right now. And Spy. And they're kind of changing the trend a little bit. You have these lower highs. They get a little bit more aggressive. They make new lows even. You know, we have new lows forming. Kind of doing that channel thing I was showing y'all. You can see we have new lows, but what's happening now? And pretty cool too, because you can see in chat too, Lou then brings up, I'm cutting this if bulls retake the current day open. Why does he randomly bring that up? We were winning in that trade. Why would he just randomly bring that up? Because he sees the potential change in trend and he knows, okay, well, I need to start thinking about if my trade goes wrong, what do I do? Or if his runners go wrong, what should he do? You know, and that's smart. You got to think ahead. You don't want to be the person who's like, it gets to that point and you're like, do I cut here? Like, you're going to be down a lot. And I'm not bagging on you, Lee, then. You know what I'm doing. I always feel bad using you as an example. I wanted to enter, but was waiting for strong push on the 5-minute time frame candle. Just got too strong of a move and missed it. Okay. Still a good review, Ryan, and I'm really happy you were actually prepared. I could see you had your contract up, you had your charts up, you had multiple time frames up, so you were actually sitting there trying to actually take it. So that's a really good breakdown. So you missed out, but you know what? It was pretty effective on how much you were looking at it, with how you were looking at it. So it's a good like kind of mental rep in a way. But you see what I mean, though. You're more in tune than someone who might have been like trying to trade it, you know, because you're someone who missed out on a trade. You're in tune with what the price is doing. You know the momentum. You know the timing of it, because you were sitting there watching it. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, progress with that feeling. Progress with that intuition. Like, it's a real thing. I'm not educated enough, of course, to like break that down better, but. Intuition, though, like seriously, progress with it. That feeling that I was talking about earlier, it really is real. If you have 8, you know, if you have, let's say you have like four things on your screen, you're like, oh, we broke this, we broke that, we're above this, we're below that. You know, if 3 of those 4 things are bearish, like, come on, let's think for a second. We have 3 things telling us we're bearish. Let's jump in. Let's take our risk. Let's make a plan. Let's plan around it. Let's look at the chart and be like, okay, well, if it goes wrong, I'll do this. If it sticks with it, I'm gonna take profit here. That's it. Don't think about anything else. And then stick to it. If you do anything outside of what previous you said, you are fooling yourself. You're not even giving yourself a chance in your trade, because now you're changing the plan. You're changing the outcome because you're moving away from what you had planned. So always stick to what previous you had talked about. I know I always said it used to be beforehand you. You always listen to beforehand you. Dragonfly on the 30-minute. Let's see. That's a crazy candle. I'm pretty lazy. I just call them all hammers. I think you'll even, in my old swing trading videos, you'll hear me say that too. I'll be like, I don't call these all dojis or this or that, because there's like a billion styles of them, and it's hard to remember them all. But something that's easy for me to remember, or like, anybody ever play Mario back in the day or anything like that? They'd have like the turtle guy who'd throw hammers at you. That's what I like to look at these. Like, these look like those hammers he throws, you know, and the power behind them. But like, you can see like price had to dip down here and then pick back up. So there's some upward pressure there. You can see that even without knowing the name of the candlestick, without knowing what it does, just how it looks. It just looks like a candle that has upward pressure. So, but good call out, JJ. But I always like looking at that too, because hammers are definitely my favorite candlestick by far, just because they're so simple and they're so powerful. And they look cool. It looks like an actual hammer. You know, when we look at a piercing line, what the hell is that? What does a piercing line look like? But a hammer, we know what a hammer looks like. Like the actual real-life hammer, not the candlestick pattern. You ever think about how trading sounds weird out of context? Like, if you were to ever take any of this out of context and say it again, it just wouldn't make any sense. I'm sitting here talking about buying a hammer at support. Can you show the 1 hour too? Yeah, my bad. Hourly. Ew. Got some indecision on that candle. And then, is this the start of this candle? Yeah. So this would be. I can't even be like, this is an inside bar, because it's the beginning of the candle. But a very good show of hands. You can see there's a lot of weakness on this candle here against a good resistance, something we're aware of, the Monday highs. And the 4 hours got another hour in, I think. Yo, what sounds good today? What's everybody getting for lunch today? I need some recommendations. What is everybody getting today? What is everybody eating? Because I need to know. It makes it look more 50-50, 100%. This retake right here, I would say, made it 50-50 for me as well, because it went from like a midterm bearish retest to just kidding, we're retaking. So now it's a little awkward, kind of in between this area where it's like obviously bearish under, but here as well where it's like it should have been more bearish under. So it's like step by step trying to retake the levels that they lost, which again would just kind of add to the result of like today could just be an indecisive move for the most part, which it so far it is. But really nice move though from, I would say, the second half of the move here. I really like how that looked. I like how you saw the transition from new highs to the lower high into the break of short-term structure there on that 1 minute that we looked at. I really like how clean that looked. It kind of sucks that it took about an hour and then another 10-15 minutes to actually set up for that, but very clean move, and it's almost identical to what we talked about yesterday. You know, we were kind of saying the same thing right here. Remember when we opened lower, then we worked back up when we filled the gap? Where did I say the one good trade happened yesterday? It was from the lower high that rejected that previous day close. And all it was just some basic stuff. So was it the right side of the trade? No, we're above today's open on that in this case. But you can see how an inside of the range trade made sense there. And I'm kind of seeing the same thing here, where it's like, yes, it's bearish, yes, it's bullish, but it's a little awkward. At this point, yes, it's bearish. At this point, yes, it's bearish. But now right here, it's a little awkward where bulls have a really good chance of not just getting back over today's open like they are right now, but actually pushing from it. And who knows, maybe this is just a full retest. Maybe this is needed to grab more liquidity before a leg down. Who knows? He didn't know you could favorite. That's funny. Frequently used, and it's just the laughing emoji first. Wait, what's that red one? You go to Trade Floor and it's me, one of my most trusted moderators, and then one of the most trusted people to ever join my chat, all spamming with emojis in the chat. But we're the ones supposed to be moderating this. See, we're the mistake. I can't even get on to anybody else for like spamming chat because I'm literally part of the problem. Shut up, Jack. That wasn't me saying... Jack hears me say I'm part of the problem. He's like, oh, cracks his knuckles. It's free reign in Trade Floor. That's funny. Good call out, Ryan. We did get a 5-minute close above CDO. Good looks. Even though we are still under previous day close, it is a little still awkward for those bearish plays initially. But really good moves from those highs. I really like a couple of the posts that happened. I saw Mel, I saw Leland, I saw a couple people in chat taking those plays. I think I saw Kid take a play in there as well with the retest down. So a couple of you did pretty well, at least on the initial move. And it was a good setup, so even if you end up taking a small loss or a neutral trade or a small win, you'd still be proud of that setup. That was still a good setup. If you're going to lose, it better make sense. That's all I got to say. Thanks for the stream, brother. Matty Clam says he's about to hit abs until he throws up. Love that. Have fun, Matty. Make sure to drink some water after. And thank you for being here, brother. What? That's that one? What? That doesn't look like that at all in the picture. Oh, it must be when it's spinning. Oh. Bro, does that not trip anyone else out on the trade floor? That did not look like the alarm emoji at all. That actually freaked me out for a second. It looked like a black hole with like red around it, and then he like shares it and it's just the siren. The alert. And D-Touch has a couple good emojis in there. Saw that opportunity and took it. Yeah, I saw that. What's up, Jack? How many days? We gotta get a picture of you in front of your own shop. We need a picture of you in front of your own shop and just, I don't know, with like the sign on the top or whatever. I gotta get one of those. 4 more days. Let's go, man. I'm excited for you. Jack will be an owner of his own building, his own business. You get the wife to take a pic. Nice, nice. Yeah, please do, man. I would love to see. I'd love to see that for you. If you want to post it in chat, you can. You don't have to though. I at least wanted to see it though, because it's like kind of a flex. When the homie gets his own business going, it's kind of cool. It is inspirational. It's super badass. Can't believe I can say I have my own shop with a hoist and a yard. For real, it's all yours. A lot of responsibility, but it's kind of cool to look back and also be like, well, I did this. You did every bit of that, Jack. I mean, you had the help, of course, of you had some mental help with some of of your wife. She probably helped you a little bit, but I mean, for the most part, man, you did all that. That's a lot of hard work. It's got to feel somewhat relieving. Oh, I will. I'm stoked. I can't wait. Very excited for you. I might have to actually visit the country of Canada to see this. Remember the times we talked years ago about leaving the yeah, for real. That's why I think this is crazy, because like I remember when you were like locked in a position you didn't even like. Then you went to a position you thought you were really gonna like, and then it was like meh. And now here you are talking about owning your own thing and just doing your own thing. And you know what's cool too is you still have like resources from having those other jobs. You probably still have pretty decent contacts with some pretty cool people who are in your, same department of work. So, I mean, you're not just starting fresh either. Like, you have some experience, you have some base behind you. You have history with it, So you're not at stage 1. You're like up there a little bit. And that's pretty cool. That's a true flex, man. Not wealth, not, oh, look at me, I have all these people, I have all these followers. Like, that's not a flex. A true flex is when you have control of your own time, your own day. Whatever you're doing, if you're in control of it, that's a flex. But good for you, man. Oh, you're becoming the parts guy. That guy. Go to him. He'll know. It's good to be the old timer. You're not even that old. Best bullish moves are the failed bearish ones. Good call out by Leland as we see us holding over today's open. Failing to hold this midterm retest. Since this retake, we have a little bit of a ugly little 3-bar play that ends up moving, and now he's retaken multiple levels. He said this bearish bull failed. Now we push to previous day high again, question mark. Definitely possible. I could definitely see that happening. Oh wait, it already happened. See if we get the Monday test. No, he is right though. That was the next thing that needed to get tested. Oh wait, no, this would be the highs. I'm stupid. 546.20s. And just a cool thought process too. Like when you guys read these messages in chat from like me or Leland or somebody else, like when we're insinuating like, are we going here next? Like we're not guessing to like give ourselves that like escape door if we're wrong. Like no, we're saying that because that's what should happen next. Like there is a natural flow to things. Like if we end up failing this new low, and we push this again, we should at least test today's open, previous day close. And if we retake both of these areas, what's the next lower high that we lost? Over here. Where's that high of day from previous date? Right over here. Where's that Monday's supply? Right over here. So there is some like kind of guesswork to it, but it's not like that. It's not guessing. It's insinuating like, okay, this is what should happen next. And if it doesn't, then it can come to a shock to us, or it could be like, oh, okay, I did this instead. But there is definitely a natural flow to things. Holy crap, that was like an actually amazing message by Noxta. What the hell? If you guys have access to Lifetime Trade Floor, I'll just read it out loud. This is beautiful. So right now in the Lifetime chat, we're talking about consistency and just kind of like getting back into the swing of things. Because someone in our chat, Burhan, actually he's one of the oldest people in this chat in terms of how long he's been here. He's from before I even had this chat, before it even existed. He was one of my friends before we even got in here. But he's in here. We're just talking about consistencies and getting back into the swing of things. And Noxta gave some really cool advice. Burhan asked, well, here, I'll just start from the beginning. I said, or I'm sorry, Burhan said, this has just brought me back. It's been a crazy few years, blah, blah, blah. I said, just make sure to pace yourself. We don't need to trade every day. We don't need to trade up every setup that we like, but we can definitely have some fun along the way as we try to grow. Noxta says, exactly my main account record over the years. Again, not pacing himself, just taking every trade instead of taking just the ones he likes. So Burhan goes, what are some tips? What are something you can do to get past this? How can I become more consistent? Is this all mental, or is there something I can physically do? Is there something I can mechanically do? What is there? And Noxta goes, oh, basically, just look at how much daily candles are moving. Now remember, this is in terms of swing trading, so this is for this. But he said, look at how much the daily candles are moving. Right now, the market is moving a lot. If you go to the weekly chart and just look for a small candle, like November last year, there were 2 super small weekly candles. Basically, just take a break until the daily starts moving again. It sucks because you don't really know until you are already caught in a bit of ranging, but swing, and this is the most genius part of his whole paragraph, but swings are all about joining in on momentum and potential. In ranging markets, there is neither. What a beautiful message that was. Swings are all about joining in on momentum and potential. In ranging markets, there is neither. Why does that feel like somebody like super wise said that like 3,000 years ago? God, what a great way of putting that. Good job, Noxta. Another way of just seeing somebody super passionate, someone super in tune right now. It's just really cool to see that stuff. I'm not overhyping him. He's not even in here. But it's cool to see somebody do that. And Leland giving another great example too. That ranging that we see, you know, those inside bars, those outside bars, like that's proof. You can physically see it. It's a visual representation of that. But guys, I think I am finally going to end the stream here. I didn't even realize it was almost 11:30. But I appreciate everybody being here. We had a pretty decently long stream today and yesterday, in terms of how much we normally do these. But thank you guys again. Seriously, we didn't stream Monday, but we were here Tuesday. We were here yesterday on Wednesday. We were here again today on Thursday. I will not be here again tomorrow, though. We're going to be doing a private Lifetime stream, so I'll be doing that around noon tomorrow. But guys, thank you again for being here. Thank you guys for welcoming me back as we come back from the big break. And I'm glad to be here again, just actively going over stuff all the time. If you guys ever have any questions, please feel free to ask me openly in chat. If you're too embarrassed about something, or maybe you just want to keep it tight, just DM me. You can DM me, and if you have any fake Buellers that you see, please report them. There have been a couple, but we just banned like 20 of them, so don't worry about it. If you don't know how to change that setting, by the way, real quick before I go, and I urge all of you to turn this on, but go to your Discord. Actually, let me click this before I maybe not expose something. Okay, there's nothing to expose. Okay, so click on click on the top left of Bueller Buys LLC, and I think you can actually click on. I think it's notification. No, privacy settings. So click this. So direct messages. You can allow direct messages from other members in the server. You can actually turn this off, and you can make it to where nobody can message you that's from here or anything like that. So you should do this in every server that you join. This is actually a really old setting. It's been around for a long time. But you could turn this off, you could turn it on, you can do whatever you want. And this actually makes it to where you get a lot less of those spam messages. So if you want to just like add a couple people from chat like me, or like maybe you're friends with Letterbuck or Linwood and you just want to have a couple people added, add those guys, have them added. But then have that setting off so you don't have to worry about getting messages from other people. And anytime you're having a problem message someone you are trying to talk to, just remember that you have to add them as a friend. But that is a very easy way to really lock down your Discord, so you don't have to really worry about the extra spamming, all the BS, and all that stuff, because we're not in direct control of who can message you. We can only stop so much. So that's the big thing you can do to really stop all the rest of that. But guys, thank you again. Sorry for that last minute rant. I just had to make sure you guys knew about that. But thank you guys again for being here. I will see you guys again next week, I guess. I'll be posting a weekly watch list on Sunday night-ish. So be on the lookout for that. I'll post SPY, IWM, and I'll probably post some extra watches beyond that, not just SPY and IWM for bigger and smaller time frame. I'll post some extra stuff that I'm looking at and that we're all looking at and talked about. Maybe I'll get some from Noxta. I'll put some in there for everybody. Maybe Leland can send me a couple. We'll get a couple of the guys to post on the weekly watch list this week or something special. But I'll see you guys later on. Lifetime guys, I'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, beyond that, love you all. Hope you have a great rest of your day, a great start to your weekend. Don't overtrade. If you guys ever need to, please review back into some of these last few days of streams. We have done a lot of talking and a lot of just breaking down of stuff. But I'll see you guys later on, and have a great rest.